Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
And when you hear that intro, you know meat is back on the menu, boys. You guys do this to me. How do I keep up? You animals wanted this. I gave you 4 hours and 20 minutes yesterday. 4 hours and 20 minutes. And the only comments I got, when are you going to talk about Will Smith smacking Chris Rock upside the head? We're going to get into it. You wanted it. You wanted the best. You got the best. Live, once again, in less than 24 hours from my secret bunker. Yes, in the middle of the Nevada desert. I know where the bodies are buried. I know where the mob is. Oh, God, you guys make me do this. Why do you make me do this? Why? Why do you make me do this?
Joke だったんです。
I'm going to, okay?
All right, let's back up.
あら、どうなんでしょうか。
Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
ウィル・スミスにやられました。
Wow, dude. It was a G.I. Jane joke.
G.I. Jane のジョークだったんです。
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was
okay.
Greatest night in the history of television.
テレビ史上最高の場面でしょうか。
Wait. We need to back that up. Here we go. Hold on. This is very important. This is your key to the whole show.
Greatest night in the history of television.
テレビ史上最高の場面でしょうか。
So we are here to give a documentary out, to give an Oscar out.
Oh my God. I just got done with George Gammon and I had to rush over here. I even tried to stagger these shows today. I have so many people asking me to come and do something about this. You know what? I figured why not just go do a live stream? God. What is the matter with you guys? You know, I mean, it's a
Kowalski analysis.
Okay, well, here we go. This is staged. I'm done. See you later. Thanks. Try the veal. Yeah. I'll explain to you why I think it is here in a moment. Actually, I shouldn't be flippant. I'll explain to you. Oops, where did it go? There it is. I'll explain to you why I think that. I put the poll up there. It looks like everybody thinks that this is legit. What is it? It's under 80. It's 79% of you think it's legit anyways. I don't think it's legit. My first impression of anything like this that pops up in my feed is I wait and see. That is my mantra now, because I've been burned enough to see this stuff happen. But I do, okay, just to throw you a bone here, I do understand why people want to think that this is legit. Absolutely understand why people want to believe this is legit. Okay. Again, stage. Okay. Stage. Thanks. Sammy. Let's see. Fonzie says it's staged. Anybody think it's legit? I mean, put staged or legit in the chat if you think that it is. Oh, you. Okay, I'm going to try to keep this as well. I guess I'm going to get demonetized now anyways, right? Because he already swear, but whatever. This is all over YouTube, as I knew it would. Let me tell you something. I did 4 hours and 20 minutes with you guys yesterday, and thank you for watching. I held viewership pretty solid through most of that, and I'm like, oh, great. Let's go see what the comments are like. And it's like nothing but this long list of comments like, when are you going to talk about Chris Rock? When are you going to talk about Will Smith? I'm like, Chris Rock? And so then, of course, I went on Twitter. I figured it out that this is what happened. If you think it's legit, just put legit in the chat. If you think it's staged, go ahead and put it in there. If you haven't already opined on the poll, I'm actually curious what you think. I think there's 3 possibilities in this, and I put them in the poll there. We'll talk about those here in a second. I swear to God, I'm not going to go more than 2 hours. I have I was on, if you haven't seen it already, I was on with Donovan for a brief amount of time. I think it was on for like 10 minutes or 15 minutes with him, talking about exactly this. John from Modern Life Dating has already done, I think, an hour and a half a segment on this. I just got done with George Gammon, and God is my witness. I thought he wanted to talk about the Will Smith smacking, the smackination, or the smackening, right? Let's call it the smackening. Smack, right? We're going to call it the smackening from here on out. I thought he really wanted to talk about that, but no, he actually wanted to talk about like economics and the red pill and intersectional dynamics, which is actually what I'm going to get into it with. That's what my topic of my theme anyways is going to be for my talk with Kiyosaki this coming weekend is going to be something like that. And then also I've got the collective coming up mid-May, and then I've got Rebel Capitalist coming up again in June. God forbid, like he would actually want to talk about something other than the smackening. Oh, so I saw this, and my first impression is that it is faked. Now I'm going to give you 3 possibilities here. You're probably going to like possibility 2 the best. However, track with me here. When I go and I say fake or I say staged, okay, that's my first impression. I reserve the right to like erase that pencil and put in whatever else I want to later on, and I think anybody should, because my initial impression, and by the way, John Fitch, a former MMA fighter, John Fitch said this is faked. This is completely a stage slap. But again, don't take my word for it. Review it for yourself. Yeah, Chris Rock is, what is that? Yeah, he had to be professional. Very true. However, let's backtrack just a little bit here. Number 1 is this. I have to put the caveats out as I always do. So here's my standard, disclaimer. I have done so many shows about Will Smith. I have, if you go all the way back, my best viewed show on this channel was when I did the Will Smith show back in August. Or was it August or July? Somewhere, either July or August, when the original Red Table Talk came out between Jada and himself, and they were talking about the entanglements. Hell, the whole reason we even use the word entanglements as sort of this euphemism was from that. And so I did my videos then. Everybody else did. Fresh and Fit, Kevin Samuels, you name it. Everyone in the manosphere hit on that when it came out. That was like a gift from God, man. It just drops in your lap, and you're like, okay, I guess I'm going with this. And that's what I did. And I did it was almost like a 2.5 or 3 hour video that I did on that. But anyways, I did a breakdown video for that. And that still to this day is my highest trafficked viewership video. I don't know. Is it pushing 1 million? If it's not, it's pretty close to it, but it's like one of my highest viewed videos of all time on this channel. I know the situation. I know who August Alsina is. I know what the situation is between Will and yes. Oh, he's gay. Oh, maybe he's not gay. Who knows, right? But at this point, it's like, it's kind of a moot point after he's smacking, Chris Rock on the, what you got on here? Why would Will risk his career, legacy, and ideals? Good question. Hang on to that one. That is definitely going to be accounted for in today's show. I'm going to show you exactly why that is. Okay. Now that goes along with the Will. This is faked. Okay. So you have 3 options now. This is faked. This is legit and it's not faked. And there's a third option. And the third option is that it's not faked, but it was prompted by a third party, by somebody outside, right? I don't think anybody's like, from the videos I've seen so far, nobody's sort of made that connection just yet. I don't know, maybe they have, but I haven't seen it. So let's keep going here. If you want to throw out supers, I'll try to get to them as much as I can, but we're going to be playing lightning round for most of these today. So if stage, why would Chris Rock agree to it? I'm going to tell you why. I'll tell you why. I'll give you the short version really quickly. The reason why Chris Rock is going to agree to this is because it's going to go away. It'll go away just like anything else. The internet never forgets, but people have very, very short attention spans. Welcome to the TLDR generation. That's why. And I'll explain to you why it would be staged or why it would be why I think that it's deliberately staged. I'm going with option number 1, by the way, until I have more information. But so that's that first. So second of all is this. So I have done that. I'm very intimately familiar with all this shit. In fact, I did a show that I'm going to show you here in a second. That got completely red flag demonetized. I did a show back in, I think it was September of this year, when there was that, I think TMZ hit it or whatever, but there was another Red Table, or no, it wasn't Red Table. Jada Pinkett Smith went on whatever show that Gwyneth Paltrow was a part of and was talking about how, things aren't great in the bedroom with Will Smith. We have an open marriage now. So it went from, in 2020, it was, we're working on our marriage. It's all about love and it's all about healing and it's all about, don't be judgmental. And, August Alsina was, what was he, 23 or 25, something when she got with him. That was just an entanglement and all that euphemism stuff that came from there. That came to a head, by the way, just last year, not even a year ago, when she was talking to Gwyneth Paltrow. And then even after that, she was on the round table with herself. And I think Willow was on there too. And they were talking about self-pleasuring and all this stuff. And everything just looks horrible for a guy like Will Smith. And so the theory for the legit side of this, like theory number 2, if this is actually legitimate, we can make the claim at least that Will Smith is fine. It's more than a man can take, right? He finally reached his snapping point. He's finally reached the point where he's just like, I've had enough. This guy's pissing me off and I'm going to go at it. I'll give you 2 sides of that story when we get to that section too. Now, then the last part of this, of course, is that it's a possibility. It's within the realm of possibility that the writers who wrote that joke knew about the conflict between Chris Rock and Will Smith. And you're going, what are you talking about? What conflict? Well, let's rewind the tape all the way back to 2016. And you'll see, even on that Oscar, I think it was the Oscars, there was like some friction between Chris Rock and Will Smith back then. So the possibility exists. And I realize this is like, maybe this is conspiracy. Maybe this is just like an outside thing, but I don't think anybody's considered this. That the writers who wrote that joke knew that there was friction between the two of them and then were trying to instigate some kind of conflict, which is exactly what happened, right? Trying to instigate something in the hopes that they were going to be able to raise the ratings. And that's where we're going to start today. We're going to talk about ratings here in just a second. What do you got on me here? As soon as I heard Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, as for you, say, defending Milady, I knew you'd have a video. Okay, well, how can I not have a video? That's the only thing you guys wanted me to do in the comments of yesterday's video. So I gotta pick it up. I gotta pick it up when people ask me to pick it up. Pick it up, please. Geez, thank you for joining us, everyone. Okay, so that I just showed you the slap. I got some clips for you just to sort of like see what's going on here. I don't want to get too detailed. The problem I'm running into already, because the moment I said this was staged, everybody wanted to throw rocks at me. Oh, you don't know how men fight. Dude, I know how men fight, okay? Oh, this is a black man and a black man right here, and you're just this old white guy and you don't know what's going on. Dude, I've been covering this for over 2 years right now. I know what the situation is. I'm not a dummy. Okay. I see what's going on here. That's now, are we clear with that? Oh, you don't know how men actually fight. You never haven't been in a street fight in a long time, right? I've been in some conflicts in my past. Okay. So I'm just going to say, have I been in a fight recently? No, I haven't. Do I practice Kali? Yes. Do I know John Fitch? Yes. Do I have conversations with him, who is a guy who actually teaches self-defense? Yes. And he's the first person I consult when I see something like this. So when I'm looking at this and I'm going, this doesn't seem legit to me. This seems like it's a setup, and I'll explain to you why I think so. You can disagree with me. Please do. I'm all ears. I would love to, because that's how we have a good conversation. But before we talk about this, before we dive into this, let's just clear a few things here. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I know what's going on. I know how this is going to work out. So I'm not an idiot. It's not like, oh, ROLLO doesn't know anything about this stuff. No, I do. I've been talking about it for a long time. In fact, I think the Red Table Talk, when you see what I did, I think it was back in September for the Gwyneth Paltrow interview. I got pretty into it on that one. So I think I'm qualified to have an opinion on all of this. Okay, so we're going to go with option one. Option one. We're going to go for. Wait, here we go.
Round one, fight.
Okay, round one, here we go. Number one is this. I think that this is staged, and I'm going to tell you why I think this is staged. I think it's staged for one reason. And you guys are going to say, well, what could they possibly do this for? Why would they want to, what is this? Thank you very much for that, my friends. Yeah, and please keep the super chats coming today. And I don't mean to beg, but I know that this video will get demonetized. It will get red carded. So, let's see. What did you say? Andy Kaufman versus Jerry Lawler. Very, very astute. Now you're dating yourself, but I am too, because I know exactly what you're talking about. Andy Kaufman instigating some sort of like play fight with Jerry Lawler. Now Jerry Lawler was if memory serves, he was a professional wrestler, correct? And Jerry Lawler like smacked him back and like really thought that he was attacking him. That's actually a very astute observation or comparison, I guess. But not many people are going to know that. And you know who else is not going to know anything about this whole thing? Is what the hell is G.I. Jane, right? I know what it is. I watched that movie. You know how I know? Because I saw that in 1997. That was 24 years ago. Keep that in the back of your head. G.I. Jane was released 24 years ago, 1997. What'd you say? His daughter Willow dropped a new music video called Purge, and it's something. Yeah, okay. You know what? I will go look that up. Is he the daughter? I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to say that this is staged, and I'm going to show you really quickly why I think this is. We're going to go back over the footage one more time. I'm just going to show the slap. Okay, we don't have to belabor anything else. Let's just look at the slap.
Oh, wow!
You catch that? Let's look at this one more time. Let's rewind the tape, gentlemen and ladies, because I see some ladies in there too. All right, so watch what happens. He marches up to straight up the stage. No one stops him. No one says, "Hey, what's Will doing? Hey, what's going on here? Is this part of the shtick?" No one, nobody, even the stage crew doesn't do anything here. Do they not have I would presume they had security of some sort. But okay, these two know each other. Maybe they're going to do a shtick. Who knows? You could explain that aspect of it. Let's keep going. Okay. Now, watch this right here. I wish I could do this in slow motion. I'm sorry I can't. But right up to that point, right before he telegraphs this slap, look where Chris Rock's hands are. Watch where they are right up until the slap. Here, watch where Chris Rock's hands are.
Oh, wow.
He knows it's coming. He knows it is coming. Look at this. This dude's coming. I don't care if you're let me put this on. I don't care if you're my best friend, but if you're coming up on me and you're posting up on me and you're giving me that look, there is that attack posture. There's that, you know what I'm talking about, when that's like that direct eye contact. Like that's how like fighters, when they go to the weigh-in for a fight, that's why they're staring each other down. Eyesight, right? Like direct eye contact, staring. That's why kids have like staring contests. It's central to the human attack posture. The dude's coming up to you and your hands are like this the whole time. Now, maybe he's got the envelope behind his thing, but he's right there and he's ready for it. He's okay. We're going to do this. Okay. We're going to do this. Pow, takes it upside the head. Right. And his arms don't come down until he's taking it to one side. I'm going to show you some pictures here in just a second. I have to I don't want to get too technical on this because people are going to go, well, Rollo doesn't know Krav Maga and he doesn't know that it would, he doesn't know how a punch is delivered or a slap is delivered. And that, look at, this was professional. He squared up to him and smacked him across the face, the smackening, right? Okay. Pick it apart. This is why by the way, this is why I never discuss like martial arts on this show. Because the minute I say, I practice Kali or whatever, that's useless. Why would you bother with that? It's got to be Aikido or it's got to be Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or it's got to be Krav Maga or it's got to be whatever it is, right? It's like, can Superman beat up Tarzan at some point, right? It's like, whatever. Yeah, staged as fuck. So hear me out. This is why I think the option number one is the real thing. I'm going to open it up for the rest of this, though. But let's look at this one more time.
あら、どうなんでしょうか。
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
ウィル・スミスに
Why would he say that? Why? Do you think he's like trying to recover? Now, people are going to say this. Well, why would Chris Rock put himself into that position? By the way, Chris Rock not pressing charges. That's just maybe that's a side to all of this. But Chris Rock is not pressing charges after this. And he goes off, and it's much easier. Here's what. Okay, that right there, when he goes back to the sit down, that's the money shot in all this, not the actual slap. Oh my God!
Oh wow!
This is where they
wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
ウィル・スミスにやられました。
Wow, dude. It was a G.I. Jane joke.
G.I. Jane のジョークだったんです。
I'm going to, okay?
Right there, that is like uncomfortable nervousness. But like, I don't think he knows what to say at this point. I think I think this slap was staged, but I think everything that comes after it has to be natural. And I'll show you why here in just a second.
Okay.
Looks for the stage manager.
That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
Was it? Was that the greatest night in the back in? Sorry, I'm monkeying around with all these this video here. So that's the greatest night in the history of television. Why does he say something like that? Why would that even be a thing? Well, let's go and look at something here just real briefly. I got to take off the overlay. Okay, what is this? Now, if you've seen my Twitter feed, understand that I thank you, Rugby, for having me subscribe to Statista, because that comes in real handy here. This is the number of television viewers of the Academy Awards ceremonies from 2000 to 2021. Look at that sharp decline from right around, the high point was 2014. Yeah, 2014. All the way to rock bottom at 9.5 or 85 million. Is that what? Yeah, it's in millions. Okay, at 2021, it has been on a steady decline since the wokesy narrative started taking over right around 2015. And you see it all drop. What happened between 2014 and last year? Well, you could blame some of that on COVID, but you can't really blame it on COVID because it's been in a sharp decline. It might have dropped a little bit more precipitously because of COVID and a decline of viewership. One would think that if in 2020, those numbers right there in 2020 or even 2021, according to like COVID, everybody's staying indoors, one would think that viewership would increase, but it hasn't increased. The reason it hasn't increased is because the Academy Awards is a notorious platform. Let me put that back. Is a notorious platform on which these woke actors and actresses get to go up and mouth off about whatever their special interests are or their pet ideologies are, and people are sick to fucking death of it. That's why you see those numbers. And you know what? The Academy, if it's going to be sustainable, it's like the Olympics, right? Why nobody cares about the Olympics anymore? Viewership declines and declines and declines. How are we going to get this up? How are we going to create some kind of buzz? How are we going to have the Andy Kaufman moment, right? How are we going to find some way to boost these numbers? Because if we don't, we're not going to have this shit anymore. And if we don't have this shit anymore, we're not going to have any platform, any global, massive platform on which where we can get people to come up here and they're receiving award, and it's time to pat ourselves on the back, and it's time to, like, you know, stroke egos about, oh, I had an abortion and I won this award because I support, you know, a woman's right to choose, right? Or whatever it is. They can mouth off about Trump. They can mouth off about Bush. They can mouth off about Obama. They can mouth off about whatever they want to. And it has become a platform for, like, really, you know, proselytizing whatever their pet ideologies happen to be. And on top of that, the movies have kind of sucked since, I don't know, 2015 because of that wokesy narrative. So how are we going to stimulate that? How are we going to kick things up? Well, if we go back, and I don't know, I think it was last year when was it last year that Ricky Gervais was talking about how or was it 2019? It was either 2020 or 2019 when maybe it was last year even, when Ricky Gervais was on there and he was talking about the Hollywood elites and how they were, quote unquote, you know, pedos and whatever else, and was really running these people up the flagpole. I think that was really an attempt to sort of get people to come back to the Oscars, to come back to this award ceremony. Now, it's not just the Oscars. If you look at the Golden Globes, if you look at the Emmys, if you look at the Grammys, all of those shows, you want statistics, you better come correct, because I got the stats for all of this. If you look at the stats and the viewership of those shows, and you look at the advertising dollars and the commercials that go into this, all of them have dropped off a cliff, not unlike what I just showed you right here. So people don't care about this. They don't want to watch this. In fact, most people are like on Twitter are too cool to watch the Oscars anyways. I didn't even know what was going on, to be honest with you. I didn't know the Oscars were even happening while I was doing my 4-hour and 20-minute show yesterday. I wouldn't have even known about it had Will Smith not smacked Chris Rock across the face. In fact, we wouldn't even care. Nobody would be talking about the Oscars if it weren't for that one incident. So yes, is there some interest in having this happen on the Oscars? Absolutely there is. Absolutely. It kicks up viewership. That kicks up advertising dollars. It's the same thing, by the way, I should say with the Super Bowl as well. What was what's funny is the game was one thing, and it's like, I didn't really care because the Niners weren't in and the Raiders weren't in. So I was like, forget it. I don't really care who wins or loses. And most people, when they feel like that, they feel like that. And I don't care what your opinions are of sports ball, but you can't deny the fact that the halftime show at the Super Bowl sucked. You know what I heard about? I didn't hear about the game. I heard about how bad the halftime show sucked, because that's what people fixate on. So when you see something like this and it's salacious like this, that's when people sort of get behind it. So let's look at, so these are the stats. I've already showed you those. Let's look at a few other things here. This was actually the hit, the strike. Okay. This is right after the strike. Okay. Now his hands are finally coming, but he's not flinching. He's not trying to defend himself. It's right up to this hit right here. I mean, that doesn't, like, to me, that it barely looked like he even contacted it. I didn't, like, you can hear the boom on the mic or on the hit, but I mean, was that because he's wearing a lav mic? I don't know. I mean, it could have something to do with that. But when I look at these, this does not and the other thing, why an open hand hit? Because Chris Rock explains it to you. He explains I just got bitch slapped by Will Smith. Instead of, why would Will Smith, if he really wanted to like shut this guy up or he wanted to shame this guy, why would he not just like right cross? Why not Mama said knock you out? Literally in this case, because Mama is Jada Pinkett Smith at this point. Why not? Why not just like go all in on him? And if that's the case, if it's really legit, then why not beat the ever living tar out of the guy? It's not going to have, I'll explain to you why that is here in just a moment. Let me see these other, I got a few other ones. That's another. I tried to stop these. I tried to get these in as chronological order as I could get from different angles here. But this does, I mean, it's a slap. It's like your mama slapping you kind of thing. There it is. That's much better right there. Now, notice that Chris Rock rolls with it. He knows it's coming. He's got his hands behind his back the entire time. I have where's that other one? I've got a good breakdown of this. Where is it? Oh, this was a good after. This is sort of the post. And there's a smile on the face. And you notice the smile on the face of Will Smith there as well. He knew this was happening. Actually, people are saying that when he did this, he was looking back to see what Jada was thinking, or like see what she was like, if she had some approval or whatever. And this is sort of this faux shock afterwards. Some people were saying like his lower jaw got whacked out of dislocated or something like that. Now this is the one I wanted to show you. Here we go. Okay, I didn't do this. I apologize for not being able to sort of quote or give you props for doing this. I guess this is grand old memes. Okay. So the point of contact is right there, as you can see. The eye contact is still straight up and on. He's bracing for the contact. Hands, he didn't even put this on here. There's no attempt to block, but there's also his hands are behind his back at this point. His neck is tucked. He's got a weak throw. Look at the bend in the elbow right there, and he's about to give him a sissy smack. So, and then again, the eye contact is really what I wanted to point out here. So I thought this is pretty accurate. I think this is a pretty accurate assessment of at least the body posturing of everything that's going on here. So we can look at this in the terms of, is this stage, from the perspective of, look at the preparation, look at the hit, look at what happened afterwards. Chris Rock does not say this. Where'd it go?
That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
I guess that had better be, because last year's numbers were here. That's why I say this is staged. Okay. Now, the other part is here. I got to throw this in as well. So let's look at that. What this is a cell phone video that was shot after the incident during the commercial breaks, just so you know what you're seeing here. Okay, what you're seeing right now is you're going to see Will Smith and Denzel Washington. You're also going to see Bradley Cooper here. You can't really tell who they are, but I'll point them out as we move along here just a second. So let's give you that.
Yeah, I think so, but I can't see the third person.
I saw him right there.
Oh yeah.
Walking back. Bradley Cooper there, the white guy with the white shirt on that's sort of got his arms around him right there. That's Bradley Cooper. Now, my question to you is this, and Denzel Washington's going to show up here in just a second, but my question to you is, if this is not staged, does Bradley Cooper come up and do something like this? Does Bradley Cooper bother doing this? Or because you got to know that even in between commercial breaks, even if Bradley Cooper's not in on this thing, he still is like kind of making that, it's okay, bro, I got you, man. Let's hug it out. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get over here. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
That's Bradley Cooper.
Is that Jamie Dornan, maybe?
Good. Now, where is Will Smith right there?
And we are 30 seconds away. We need to clear down front, please. We're going to come into the audience at the beginning of this act.
I want you guys to also look at where the seats are positioned here. Look where Will and Jada Pinkett Smith are seated.
Please take your seats. Thank you. 25 seconds. Please clear the aisles down front.
That guy right there,
15.
that
Please
is
clear the front, please. Clear. Thank you.
back to sit. Denzel is right here, kind of in the
10 seconds.
lower left-hand corner. He's the one with his arm around Jada at this point. You can see Jada's bald head. Alopecia Jada. Okay. They're talking it out right there.
5, 4, 3.
All right, that's the end of that. So I wanted to throw that. I felt like this had some significance to it as well. So you have to see what happens. Sort of. I know, I hate to do. I know you have to sort of be timely. You have to jump on these topics when they're sort of dropping your lap. But I'm waiting for the cameo. I'm waiting for the casual video somebody shot with an iPhone. Because it's going to come out. There's going to be, and it's going to either prove that it's legit or it's going to prove that it was staged. But something's going to happen. You have to jump on this. So again, standard caveats apply. I could be wrong. Okay, I don't think I'm wrong, but I could be wrong. But what I'm not wrong about is when you look at, let me back this up a little bit. When you look where they are positioned, look how they're not seated together. They're at a little table. She's off on one side and he's on the other. Now I'm going to show you something else here as well, just so we can I'll pull this out of here, remove that. And then I'm going to, I'm going to keep that in there. Okay. So let me see if I can just get some of these real quick. Option 4, staged, but Will Smith applied more force than the script intended. I don't know. When I look at this, that's a possibility. But when I look at where did it go? When I look at here it is. This is the best I can do. Sorry. When you look at that, is it more because he's not like, it's not like a open end, open arm. Like when you're swinging on somebody, I mean, like you got to put your shoulder into something, right? That's why they say you throw like a girl. I've said that before. Like men have an innate combative nature, and we know how to put more force into like throwing an object or throwing a punch, and it's like you have more force if you put yourself. It's like and it comes across, but I don't know. Do you think he made connection? I think he made connection. But if you look at where they are predicting or where they're showing where the point of contact is, I would need to see this in slow motion. And I hate to have to like be the guy that says, hey, Barstool Sports, Portnoy, hey, can you show me give me the John Madden play-by-play here? Can you give it to me? Some smart guy is going to come up with this, but I can only go with what I have at this moment. So just to be clear, let's keep going down a little bit more. Yes, I'll answer your okay. This is not a Q&A. We're talking about this topic today. Thank you very much. Will, who once boycotted the Oscars, is not employed by the Academy, and he gets no benefit from ad revenue, zero monetization from the. Yeah, but he has another reason to do this. And I'm going to tell you what that reason is when we move on to option 2. I agree. He's not. Both of these guys aren't going to directly make a lot of money. And so what people are saying, well, this will ruin their career. No, it won't. You know why it won't ruin their career? Because who the hell is watching this? Who is watching? Like this is why it won't ruin their career. No one cares. No one cares about the Academy Awards except for the Academy Awards. Did they put him up to it? Did they give him did they bankroll it? I don't know. I do know that Will Smith, who won Best Actor last night, who clearly knew he was going to win Best Actor the next day, because you know damn well that these guys know that they're going to have to go up there, have an acceptance speech ready to go. They're already set up. You know how I know that? Because look where they're seated. He was seated right strategically, right where he could get up on the stage and make that approach and make that smack. Well, why would he do that? Well, first of all, if he's going to be the best actor, and this kind of dovetails into option number 2, which I'll get to in just a second. But if he's going to be the best actor, if he's going to win another, I think this is his second, isn't it? Didn't he win one for Ali or something, Malcolm X? I can't remember. I think he's already, is this his second? Somebody clarify that for me. I don't know which best actor Oscar this is. I know he's got one under his belt. And it's not for Independence Day. It should be for Independence Day, but it's not. And again, I like Will Smith. I want to like him. I said that from day one, from way back when I was talking about him back in 2020 and when all this started, right? I want to like the guy. I want him to man up. I want his testicles to drop. I want this to happen. And so do you. And that's why so many people want to believe that this is legit. They want this. And you know what? He knows that you know that you want this. That's why. So there's a reason, there's a method to this madness. We'll wait till I get to the second part of this. But I have to kind of move on just a little bit more here because I have to show you this picture right here. This is how far apart they're sitting. Like does that look like a married couple to you? Now, this is the reason I'm bringing this up is because this was the initial laugh at the G.I. Jane joke. Okay, so he's kind of yucking it up, and Jada's kind of not having it, right? Now, they're still married, although you would never know it because she's sitting over there on one side and he's on the other. And I'll tell you what, man, if I am at an award ceremony, Mrs. TOMASSI is right next to me, man. And not because I'm like, get over here. She's over there because she wants to be over there. So let's just look at a few things and look at the sort of the physical body language dynamics that are going on here. This is delivered right at, this is smile, this shot, because everybody is, you also notice that everyone looks their way when he delivers this joke. Okay. Now, another reason why I say this is staged. Here we go. Reason number 2 why I think this is staged is because Chris Rock, he had that script, he had that line he had to deliver. This is the greatest night on television, right? That, by the way, that is a byline for the Oscars, the greatest night in television history or whatever, the greatest night in history, whatever. They've been doing that, I think, since like the 50s, because the Academy Awards have been around for a long time, right? So that you could say, well, he was just, that was the first thing that came to his head. Okay, you could say that, but G.I. Jane. Now, I mentioned this on Donovan's show. I also heard, I think it was John from Modern Life Dating mention this as well, is that Chris Rock would never write a joke like that, or much less commit it to memory. Okay. As I said, I think I said earlier on, and I said this on Donovan's show, G.I. Jane was 1997. 1997 is when G.I. Jane with Demi Moore, and she shaves her head, and that's supposed to be the connection and the joke. How many people online, much less anybody sitting in the audience, gets that joke? Gets the joke about, oh yeah, remember in G.I. Jane back in 24 years ago in 1997, yuck it up, right? Maybe it took them a minute for it to sort of digest and register what they were talking about. Do we even think that maybe even like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, have they even seen that movie? Because I saw it once in 1997 and completely forgettable. The only time I use G.I. Jane in a sentence is when I'm trying to talk about, drafting women into the military. That's the only time I've ever used that in any kind of reference. Okay. Does anybody know about that? Does anybody make that connection? Is that in any way funny? Does Chris Rock actually write that joke? No, he doesn't. The staff writers, the people who are trying to write his monologue for him at the Academy or the Oscars or whatever, they're the ones who wrote that. That dovetails into option number 3, which I'm going to get to a little bit here. But the point is that it's not a funny joke. He even says, hey, it's a G.I. Jane joke. He doesn't. Do you think, and in the last 24 years, that G.I. Jane is some sort of Americana? It's some sort of thing that everybody, like even, grade school kids, oh yeah, G.I. Jane. Do you think they know what that is? No, they don't. And the only reason why it's in some way insensitive to her is because she's got alopecia. She's bald. Maybe he doesn't even know that. Maybe the writers didn't even know that she actually has alopecia. Okay. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they did. But the fact of the matter remains is that she's bald. Somebody wrote that joke. I don't think it was Chris Rock, because Chris Rock is way more funny than that. Chris Rock just spitballing and improvising is more fun. He was funnier than that in the Madagascar, man. I mean, he was like, he doesn't write those jokes. So you have to take that into consideration here, that was a script and that was a line that was delivered that he was supposed to say. So if that's the case, like, he's never going to say that on his own. He's not going to come up with that material on his own. We'll see. Maybe he'll cop to it. Maybe he won't cop to it. He's not saying shit right now. He's not even pressing charges right now. Well, I guess I deserve that. That's okay. I'm not going to say anything. What he's hoping it's for is he's hoping it's just going to go away. Chris Rock is still going to make remember this also, by the way, Will Smith is worth $350 million. So when people say, well, why would he have any point in doing this? Well, none, because he's worth $350 million. How much is Chris Rock worth? I don't know what his estimated, whatever his net worth is. You could probably dig that up. I'm sure it's probably up there. Maybe it's not as much as Will Smith, but maybe it's 200 million. I don't know. But, both big name actors, and both funny guys, and both of them should know better. I mean, technically, when you think about it, Will Smith's not a stand-up comedian, but he's done funny stuff. He's got a good sense of humor. With Martin Lawrence and Bad Boys. I mean, he knows what's up. Now, does he get pissed off to that degree? Probably. Was that anger? Was that like frustration, like genuine for him? I don't know, because when I look at the pictures and he's running off the stage or he's walking off the stage, it seems like the way he came, not backstage, not anywhere else. He goes off the stage and then off to the sides, to the right side or stage left. He pulls that. So when I look at that and I look at the posturing and I look at if you know anything about stagecraft, if you know anything about drama, if you've ever been a stage actor, you know what blocking is. Blocking is he slaps and goes off. You never cross around another actor. You block it and you go out unless there's a point to it, right? There's a particular science to blocking, and I saw every aspect of it in just the simple walk on and walk off of that. So there's a stage combat attribute to this, I guess, as well. Let me keep going here. What did you get? Did I get to you? Okay, yeah. So he boycotted but remember why he boycotted that back in the day. He boycotted it because there were no black actors that were nominated for Best Actor or Best Actress or something like that. And he just got on board with what was going on at that time. If that's the case, why is he even there accepting Best Actor? If he's dedicated to his convictions, why is he even there? And for that matter, why is Jada even there? And for that matter, why is Denzel there? And why is anybody else? I think Denzel probably, did he boycott that year too? I don't know. But the thing is, the fact of the matter is he doesn't hate it enough not to be there and accept his, Best Actors award, which, by the way, he's tearfully accepted, Best Actor award. God, you guys are so crazy in the chat today. Thank you for showing up for this very impromptu episode. Thanks for that $50, Rosie. You didn't put any comment. Thank you. Thanks for the support. I much appreciate it. I'm going to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling down. I'm sorry. Whenever I get rolling, you guys get scrolling. So thanks for coming on today. I must admit, I've been dying to hear your response. Well, were you one of the millions of guys who put a comment in yesterday's video about it? Okay. I'm gonna keep going here. Sam, thanks for being in the chat on such short notice. I much appreciate it. Let's keep going. You know what? I'm just gonna scroll down to the bottom here. Hang on, Sammy. Sammy, did you get me backed up, Sammy? Yes, you did. Thank you for that. Okay. Let's see. Did I get to you? A lot of so this is Cesar Sanchez. He says a lot of famous pages on IG are promoting this hard. That's why I don't buy it, because those are the same pages that were promoting push the vote BS. Now gas prices going up. You think this is a distraction from gas price? Well, maybe. Who knows, right? Now I talked about this with George Gammon not too long ago, and I'll come back to that narrative here in just a second. Thank you for that, Wraithen. Valhalla. Those that believe this is real have not been involved in violence. His heart rate does not go up. His breathing is normal. He calmly says he got slapped, bitch slapped, by the way, which is what we're supposed to call this, I should say. Sorry, I just got back from the gym. He calmly says he got slapped. He doesn't gain distance. Exactly. That's what I was talking about when it comes to blocking. Anyone familiar with violence recognizes that this is a fake. John Fitch said almost the same thing. Amin Danya says, do you think Will has come to the realization that Jada resents him? If he didn't before, he probably does now. And moreover, feels stuck with him. Well, I will say this. I think that Jada and Will like very intimately understand their PR. They intimately understand the message and the public view of who they are. Certainly since the Gwyneth Paltrow thing, certainly since all that stuff that was going down, all that crap that was going down, all of that. Absolutely. They're hyper aware of their public image at this stage. We're going to come back to that though. Let's see. Keep going. Mr. Reborn, thanks, dude. You're on top of your game today. Crying afterwards was more for the award than this. Was it, or was it supposed to? And they're who knows? Is he sincere? Is he not? Oh, how dare you say he's not sincere? Well, that's the problem. Is when you see tears, you can't say he's not sincere. You can't say that. You do know that people can cry on demand, right? Particularly actors and actresses learn how to cry on demand. Is that what's going on? I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that the possibility exists, but people want to believe that it is sincere. People wanted this. You wanted this. You wanted all of this crap, man.
Flawless victory.
You wanted this show. Okay, I know you guys love me, but you wanted this show. You know how I know? Because we just sat talking about Instagram. You're just talking about Twitter. You can't go on Twitter without having a bajillion, tweets about this. You can't escape this, and you won't escape this probably for the next few days. It's Monday. It is Monday. Okay. This is the biggest story. And you know what? You'll forget about it by Thursday. I guarantee it. Nobody's going to follow up on this. Nobody's going to care about it certainly not by Friday. Once the news cycle's done, I don't even think, do you think that this will last more than a month, more than a week? I don't think so. Certainly not in popular consciousness anyways. Guru Keeves. Rollo, I saw some guy on IG last night says he's red pill AF and that what Will Smith did was correct on principle. What are your thoughts on this? Was what Will Smith did correct on principle? Okay. I don't make judgment calls like that. First of all, I analyze the praxeology. However, I'm going to break protocol today. So we will get to that when we get to part 2 here, which is it legit? What if it's legit? Okay. Hang on. Mr. Reborn, this would be the biggest novelty boxing match ever. I will tell you that Hotep Jesus, if you're watching Hotep, I love you. The first thing out of Hotep's mouth was that was fake as shit, right? Or there was he knows his audience and he knows what's happening. That's one of the reasons why I have a really great respect for Brian and I love him like a brother. But when this came out, the first thing I said, and he laughed his ass off. I said, Jesse Smollett sold his story better than Will Smith. I mean, just the smack and everything else, to me, anyways, it seems very, very fake and very, very staged. Let's keep going. Guru, got to you. Guru Keys, I swear to you, I'm going to do that. Will Smith wins Best Actor for King Richard. Okay, that's what he got nominated for. Thanks, Sammy. Hetlo says Will was Hetlo. Sorry, I didn't get to you yesterday, by the way. Will was so enmeshed by his mother in his upbringing that he has projected the kid-mother relationship onto Jada. It's sad, really. Will's outburst is concealed cry for help. I understand why people would want to think that. I was saying, I think I was talking to Myron about this. Is whenever somebody disagrees with you, particularly when it comes to intersexual dynamics, when a woman disagrees with a guy and you guys know what I say, when it comes to, who hurt you, right? Who hurt you? It's an attempt to reframe the conversation back to being into an emotional state rather than an empirical state, right? And one of the things that people do, particularly women in a gynocentric social order, they believe they have some magical knowledge of really Freudian psychology. They become armchair psychologists automatically. And you saw this happen on Saucecast, I think, when Fresh and Fit were on there. And when women can't win an argument, if they don't resort to who hurt you, it's, what was your childhood like? Have you ever been in love? I mentioned this on the last time I was out there a couple weeks ago. Why is it that we think that women are automatically qualified to be really either Jungian or, Freudian psychologists? Why? Why do we, well, she would know because she's a woman. She has this magical empathic ability to sort of plumb the depths of your mind and read your thoughts. And, well, it must be because you had a hard childhood, right? No, maybe he had a great childhood and he's just doing what a guy's going to do when he's reached his wit's fucking end. Maybe maybe it's as simple as that. I don't know. Call me crazy. You know, what's the simplest answer is usually the right one. Rock leans in as Smith approaches. Staged. Thank you, Nexus 974. That was well worth the $199. Yeah, he leans. He comes into it. Like, look at that. Here, let's look at it. Let's rewind.
この場面でしょうか。
Here we go.
あら、どうなんでしょうか。
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay, Nexus. I think you're right. Let's look at that lean.
あら、どうなんでしょうか。
Oh, wow. Wow.
I don't know about you, but even if my best friend smacks me upside the head, the first words out of my mouth are, wow. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm trying to make my case for the fake here, but we're going to go to the real here in just a second. A lot of famous pages on IG. Okay, I got to you, Caesar. Thank you for that. Chris Rock's only worth $60 million. You got to be kidding me. He's got to be worth that more than that. Hey, Rollo, please answer. Why is it that when Will Smith acts naturally like a man, being protective of his woman, why do all sorts of men and women shame him into oblivion? Again, wait for part 2. I'm gonna give you the reason why I think this is legit. Okay, because I think it's fake. I'm going with fake, but I can also see why you would say it was legit. Because I've been doing this show for the last 2 years. Silent Fox says, I have a friend who I can't unplug, and his recent ex is openly advertising on Instagram. He has some cuck rage, but won't listen to Red Reason. Any advice? Yeah, don't follow in Will Smith's footsteps. And lastly, I have this one. Alopecia is just another word for hair loss. Joking about hair loss with women is unacceptable. With men, it is completely acceptable and funny. Yes, we can do that. We can call you. Small dick energy or whatever. Oh, look, your hair is falling out. Oh, ha, ha. Because why? Because hair is a sign of virility in men, right? Or at least it should be, unless you shave your head. And in that case, it can also be. However, I agree with you. Why do I agree with you? Because of this. This is it Ayanna or whatever, Presley, alopecia, hashtag alopecia. Nation, stand up. Thank you, Will Smith. Shout out to all the husbands who defend their wives living with alopecia in the face of daily ignorance and insults. Hashtag Oscars. Women with baldies are for real men only. Boys need not apply. Oh, wow. 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 The grift is in effect, man.
Flawless victory.
Yeah. You want to get on me for red meat? I am an amateur. I am a rookie compared to that. Alopecia Nation, stand up. Oh my God. Okay, and then the finishing move here is you're not a real man unless you love a baldy. Oh my God. That's Yeah. You're not a real man. Oh, and by the way, before I move on to part 2 here, I would be remiss in my duties if I did not put these memes up. This has been meme gold, by the way. God, that was so good. I don't know who was responsible. That's some good shit, my friends. And this has been meme gold for people. I love, let me tell you something. This is Ryan Stone. Ryan Stone, your meme kung fu is superior. I bend the knee. I'll tell you what's funny is Jack Murphy's beard being the universally accepted, universally acknowledged icon or iconography for cuckoldry makes me want to believe in God. It makes me want to believe that there is some sort of cosmic justice out there, because if you know my history with this asshole, this is just, it's too good. This is just too good. right here. Anytime I see it, of course, people attach that beard to lots of other people as well. But oh my God, those are great. Keep them up, please. The memes must flow. The memes shall flow like a mighty river. All right. Last but not least, I want to show you this little bit right here. This is some shots of the crowd. And what's the guy? That guy in the top left, is that from Ozark? I can't remember the actor's name. God damn it, why am I drawing a blank on this dude? Anyways, you look at the expression from the women, and then look at the expression of the guy. Come on, somebody give me that. Somebody give me his name from Ozark. He has a famous sister too, and God damn it, why can I not remember his name? Somebody give it to me. One of you guys are going to give this to me. Who? Jason Bateman. Thank you very much. There we go. Jason Bateman. That is Jason Bateman, right? That's Jason Bateman at the top right corner. Jason Bateman. Okay. Thank you very much. Got it. Okay. Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman's like, holy shit, this is great. Suddenly the Oscars are cool. Look at the expression on the chicks' faces. I don't know who that chick is in the middle on the left, but she's clearly never seen any kind of fight, right? The girl that's on the bottom left, that is Will Smith's daughter, but that happens, that's before the slap, or no, that's after the slap, and he's like, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth, right? And we look at the shock. Look at the shock and the dismay of women on here, and look at the guy. Now, here's what people are going to say is like, well, that looks like organic shock. That look for, oh my God, there's violence here. Men are fighting. Get the fuck out of here. You're not in any danger, little white girl. You're not in any danger. God, this chick right here, the one in the middle on the left, and the other girl, and who is with her on the middle right? Who is that in the middle right? No, that's Nicole Kidman. Okay, so she's on the left, but who's on the middle right there? At the bottom there, I can't. It's familiar, and I can't quite place it. Somebody tell me that. That's not. Who is that? That is Billie Eilish. Oh, Billie Eilish is in the bottom right. It's the bottom right side. Yes. Who's that? Lupita. Okay, Lupita. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just looking at this. I thought this was funny as hell. Like somebody did this like collage. There's probably more of these. I wish I would have had a little bit more time to sort of do a little more homework on this, but wow. Lupita and Lupita and Goyo and not his daughter. Okay. Got it. All right. I just work here, man. I can't keep track of all these celebrities. They'll know my name soon enough. Thank you, man. Like this, like 4,500 of you, man. That's a good show for Rollo Tomassi. Those are hell. That's a good show for Fresh and Fit. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the second part here, and I'm gonna tell you why I think this is. It could be legit. All right. Vladimir Putin over here talking shit about your bald wife. Oh my Lord. Academy Awards. Yep. Everybody gets to wear. You know what I need to do? I had half a mind to do this. And you know how you guys are always asking me for merch. How cool would it be to like put just the picture of the beard on a shirt, or better yet, like you get like a cutout of it and you have like a little, like on a stick, and you're at a show or you're at a sporting event and you like put the thing up. That would be funny as hell. Why hasn't Will been canceled yet for toxic masculinity? Because he's Will Smith and his wife is Jada Pinkett Smith. That's why. Jada Pinkett Smith, hyphenated name, noted without comment. I'll talk. You want me to show you why? I'll show you here in just a moment. There is no way they would stage this with two black men. I don't think so. I think they would do it specifically with those two, and specifically because Will Smith was scheduled to win Best Actor. That's why. Woke Mob has been attacking them for years for not being black enough. Yeah, that's true. But now they are. So there's a fight going on. The fight is meant to increase viewership. It's like NASCAR. It's like this show too, right? It's like NASCAR. You don't go to NASCAR to watch and see who wins the race. You go there to see the 12-car pileup. That's where you go see NASCAR. You go to see death. You want bread and circuses. You want blood. You want blood? I'll give you blood. You want red meat? That's why you go to see NASCAR. And that's now what they're hoping is they're going to go, oh man, March 2023. Hey, let's all watch the Oscar. Let's have an Oscar party. Anybody remember those? I remember going to Oscar parties back in like the 90s, I think it was, or maybe the early 2000s, like with coworkers or something. Hey, we're going to get drunk and watching the Oscars and we're going to take bets on who's going to win and who's not going to win. Like who's going to win best documentary? Like we would know, right? You're half drunk. You're like, I don't know, I'll put that on there. Nobody does Oscar parties anymore. Who does an Oscar party? Does anybody go to Oscar parties? Have you ever even been to one? I haven't been to an Oscar party since 2002, 2003. It could be staged for sure, but Will's upbringing was bad. Are we going to go back to that again? Upbringing? He openly mentioned wanting to kill his abusive father and protect his mother. It sounds like Oedipus is what that sounds like. King Lear. What was he nominated for? King Lear? No, it wasn't King Lear. What was it? King Richard. He might want to audition for Oedipus, the next Oedipus version. Right. Well, I mean, here's the thing. We can stop it with the childhood shit. Okay. Will Smith is as old as I am. Oh, he had a rough childhood, man. I got the shit kicked out of me too by my dad, but you don't see me going, I don't have didn't make a career off of it. My PR isn't off of that too. Everybody has a shit childhood to some degree, some more than others, right? Very few people have like these wonderful, and you know what? The people who had wonderful childhoods, you don't care to even know whether they had it or not, because everybody remembers negativity more than they remember positivity, right? This is a Joe Biden cover up for the gas prices. What is gas prices up to right now? People were talking about that when I was over on George Gammon's show, which by the way was really good. It was only an hour, so you don't have low level of commitment. If you want to go watch that, I thought it was pretty good. And no, we didn't talk about Will Smith. Let's see. Did I catch up? Oh, damn, did I catch up? Joe Biden. What are gas prices? Somebody tell me. Chime in. Okay, everybody represent. Let's see. I got Virginia here. Damn, that's pretty good, man. $4.20 a gallon. I'm gonna move to Virginia. It's something like $5.10 in Nevada right now, or at least in Reno, Nevada. It is. You go down to Vegas, it's different. You go up to Tahoe, it's probably like $10 a gallon right now. Yeah, ride a bike. Yeah, you should actually ride a bike. Get off your fat ass. All right, I'm going to pull the original out of this. And then I'm going to show you a couple of other things. Now I'm about to make a case for why I think this might be legit. Okay. So this is part 2. But before we do that, I have to sort of preempt this and show you a few things here. Now, we all know if you follow me, if you've watched my previous videos on Will Smith, you know what I'm going to say. Okay. We've already talked about entanglements, and it's all about healing, and it's all about love and all that stuff. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Right. Okay. I'm not going to repeat that just right yet, but let's look at let's look at the evidence. Here's the evidence. Oh my goodness. Here is Will Smith and his wife recently at, it's not the Golden Globes. I forget is it Critics' Choice? That's what it was. Critics' Choice Award, not too long ago. I think this was either this year or last year. Not really sure. Okay. She looks just like a bundle of joy, but you could say, well, she's got alopecia, right? She doesn't have cancer. She does have alopecia. So does this person look like she is like, there's that lean, by the way. Look at the body language on this. Hey, he's got a big smile on her face, and she's just like, I am dead inside. I am dying here. Help me. Help me. How do I know that she's screaming, help me in this picture? Because in this picture right here, where she's next to August Alsina, that ain't help me, man. That is, I am happy as fuck to be next to this guy. That is a qualitative difference between that shot and that shot. And you say, well, that was a long time ago, Rollo. Yeah, but that's the only one I got because that's when that happened. Now, this was at the BET Awards, right? Before, after. Do you see the difference here? Now, I've used in my body language essay, which, by the way, is going to be in book 5, which is coming out next week. I quote in there. I show pictures in there of like this one guy's wife. He was on his. I think he was on his. I don't have it handy. Sorry, but this one guy shows this comparative picture of him on his wedding day with his wife, and his wife's like this. And then there's the next shot over, and she's like got this sort of like celebrity shot with ROLLO, and she's just like, loving every second of it. And I get the same kind of vibes from this and this. So that's the comparison right there. And let's also contrast it with this over here. Now you can say, well, she's offended. Of course, ROLLO, you're dumb. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay. I got to point those things out before I move on, because I'm going to make your case. Okay. Let's just say for sake of argument that this is legit. Okay. Let's say for sake of argument that everything has come to a head. I don't know. Maybe they had a fight. Maybe Jada and Will had a fight before they went on, and he was trying to appease her, which I would not be shocked at all, considering this is like really the attitude that they have with one another. Okay. It's very possible that they're having difficulties. It's very possible that, she's hating her life because she's with this guy who, by the way, is just about to win Best Actor. When's the last, has Jada ever won an Academy Award? Has she ever went home with an Oscar? She is also an actress herself. I know, it's hard to believe, right? She was Niobe in The Matrix. I don't know what else she's done. That's the only place I know her from. I'm sure there's some, I'm sure I'm ignorant and expressing my ignorance in all of this, but I don't know if she's ever won an Academy Award, but they are both actors and actress, right? There has got to be, like, he has eclipsed her at $350 million. And somebody tell me, is this his second or third, look, somebody's going to put it in the chat, I'm sure. Is this his second or third Oscar? Could be staged. Okay, I got that. What did you say? Alopecia is the new cancer. Yeah, sure it is. Sean Morrow, let's assume for a moment that the slap was real. Okay, that's what we're doing. And Jada was actually, a good wife and didn't get into an entanglement. What are your thoughts on striking another man over a joke that's aimed at your wife? I understand the impetus. I understand the impulse to do such a thing. Yes. You know what? I didn't dig this up. I got to go pull this off of Instagram. Not Instagram, Twitter here. So you guys got to bear with me, because I try to be meticulously prepared for all of my shows, and this one snuck up on me. I had no earthly idea this was going to happen, as you might guess. I did, however, I have got one study. It kind of goes back to what you're talking about there just a minute ago, Sean. Where is that? Oh, God, this was a good one too. Maybe I should just show this to you I'll come back to that. That's Red Table Talk. I forget who was it that said that pretty much the history of human violence is intimately connected to, here it is. Hostility. Okay, so here it is. I don't know who this chick is. This is, I'm just going to read it to you. It's easier to do it. How are we not talking about this new work on guys and girls? Women who prefer male friends held more hostility towards and expected more aggression from other women. Okay, that's not the one. Let's see. I got a study for you guys that I thought was really pertinent to all of this. Okay. That's that. Claire Lehman. That's right. Of course it's Claire Lehman. Okay, here we go. Conflicts over possession of females have probably been the main reason for fights and killings throughout human history. This is a quote from a book, which is called Noble Savages by Napoleon Chagnon, published in 2014. I'm going to read you just the quick hit, the quote she pulled from here. Okay. Let's see. So from doing so, the rules of incest and intervention of some other men's proprietary interests in the same woman. Okay, here we go. This is why there is so much club fighting and why villages split into two or more groups so easily. Conflicts over the possession of nubile females have probably been the main reason for fights and killings throughout most of human history. The original human social rules emerged in all probability to regulate male access to females and prevent the social chaos attendant on fighting over women. Males in this persistent kind of social environment sought the help of other related males, brothers, sons, cousins, uncles, nephews. Okay. I talked about this yesterday. I wish I would have had this when I was getting into this, and formed male coalitions to pursue their selfish reproductive goals, as well as to minimize lethal conflicts within their own group, right? Kin altruism. Male access to females, usually heroes attempting to secure the love, affection, and proprietary reproductive potential of heroines, is the constant theme in myths, legends, historical accounts of just about all cultures and societies known to historians and anthropologists. Remember what I said yesterday when I was on here and I was talking about St. George and the Dragon, right? That's where this goes. That's to answer your question, like, well, what's the right thing and the wrong thing to do? Well, I can tell you what the instinctual thing is to do. And you've seen these memes before. It's usually this big burly ass dude, looks like a bodybuilder. And the meme is this. This guy meets your woman in a club and he smacks her ass and grabs her. What do? You've seen that meme. You know goddamn well you've seen that meme before, right? What do? The reason that's funny is because it plays on your instinctual protector dynamic to want to protect your wife. Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. That is exactly what I just read. Keep my wife's name fucking out of your fucking mouth. That right there. Well, first of all, kin altruism, but also it's that possessive, jealous response that men have when, like, probably not jealous of Chris Rock, but let me tell you something. After being shamed and cuckolded and at least in a PR sense, being brought down, like, you're Will fucking Smith, you're worth $350 million. People love you. I love you. I like Will Smith. I really do. But I see the guy, he's the most blue pill cucked simp for that woman right there. And I know the history between them. I know they got married early. I know he was much younger. I know his family background. I know he was like, he doesn't want to leave his wife. So he's willing to put up with his kids becoming, their sons becoming daughters and whatever else. He's willing to put up with that bullshit because he has so much invested in being committed and commitment to that situation that he's not committed to himself. And the only way that he can get that out is to go and attack Chris Rock. Now, I'm saying that if this isn't a hack job, if this isn't a hose job, right? If this is in fact legit and you want to make a case for it, and everybody wants to believe this is, I'm not going to talk about Amy Schumer. Go fuck yourself, okay? I don't give a flying fuck about her, okay? Thank you. She's fat. There you go. Was that the yuck? Okay. Here's the thing. Is if that's the case, the reason people are asking about this, is it right or is it wrong? What's the judgment call in this, Rollo? Don't ask me, but I can tell you why a guy like that would get to the point where he's going to, was that an emotional outburst? Does that seem like an emotional outburst? Was anger an emotional outburst? And I'll tell you, the reason why I think it's kind of horseshit here is because the G.I. Jane joke, all that's going to do, if there is any kind of angst or any kind of urgency or any kind of anger that's associated with it, it's probably because if he didn't get up and smack the shit, bitch slap Chris Rock, if he didn't get up and do that, imagine the conversation, imagine the fight, imagine the nagging, imagine the loss of respect that Jada, whose respect for him is well in the toilet, to the point where she's on with Gwyneth Paltrow talking about his sexual performance. All right. He is as low as a guy like Will Smith can be when it comes to the respectability and the admirability of his own wife. He's about to win Best Actor for 2022. Well, yeah, 2021. He's about to win Best Actor. There's probably already conflict between the two of them. I'm not saying that that's what's triggering this, but I'm sure it's probably adding to this. However, since I've been covering this since like 2020 up through now, and then I did, like I said, I did the other one back in September of this year. All this time, imagine being Will Smith and having your name in the mouths of Gwyneth Paltrow, in the mouths of your wife, who is in there talking about, he's not really fun in bed, blah, blah, blah. I'll show you that video here in a second. So does that get to the point where it's more than a man can take? Does it get to the point where the guy goes, you know what? I've had it. And that's a soft target right there. I could take Chris Rock. Here I go. Watch this, baby. I'm going to make this grand gesture. And I'll tell you the other thing is even the simp hand is strong. Thank you. Even if it is legit, all that energy, all that big dick energy to go up there and smack a guy like Chris Rock, assuming it's real, all that is diffused the minute he goes on. He's like, I'm sorry, I want to apologize to everybody here. And even if that's like this heartfelt kind of like, I can't, people want to say he was crying because he won the award. I would bet you money he already knew he was going to win the award, because Denzel Washington doesn't come over to him if he's not going to. He's not seated where he is if he's not going to win the award. He's not where he's at. He's not positioned where he's going to be. He's not being consoled by Bradley Cooper if he's not going to win that award. He knew what they go in knowing what they're going to do. Put it this way. There is, even as low a viewership as it was last year, there's too much money invested into shows like this, like the Grammys, the Golden Globes, the Emmys, whatever. There's too much money that's invested into those shows for it not to be scripted, for them not to know what they're going to do when they go up there. Commercials, commercial interest, the big names that are putting money into the commercials that go into this, they need it to be that way. By the way, that also holds true for The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, and you name the show, name what you think is a legit show. Trust me, there's too much money invested in that show for it not to be scripted, for it not to at least have some sort of an outline to go along with. So it's not all organic. It's not all natural. And so like when people do breakdowns of like the Paradise Island or whatever the fuck Chris Williamson was on, like it's scripted. Okay. He'll tell you it's scripted. Yeah, Victoria Larson will tell you, that's a loose script, but we have to go and do what we do. Right. Because they can't afford for it not to be. Otherwise it's boring and nobody watches it and it doesn't trigger indignation. This slap. Oh man. Go look on Twitter right now. Go look on Instagram right now. Go look on whatever your favorite social media is right now, and you will see a nonstop stream of memes, man. Nothing else. That was a good one. Thank you. You actually, hold on, my friend. You get one of these. That's pretty good. That was pretty good, man. That was pretty good. I'm going to come back. I've got some other things to sort of hit on as far as that. I think that if you're going to make the case that it was actually legit, we have to look at the history and what would motivate and prompt him to be in that position in the first place. All right. There's a protector dynamic, but I don't think it's so much the protector dynamic is he wanted to avoid more conflict with Jada, who's already kind of like she knew. Honestly, if it was staged, she knew what was coming. So just she would have had to have been in on it as well. So that said, okay, let's say it's not. Let's say it's completely legit. I'm going to go with you here. Is he doing this to avoid further nagging and avoid a further conflict with Jada later on? Maybe he's at the point where he's like, okay, my wife disrespects me. All those bitches on the red table disrespect me. Gwyneth Paltrow and her vagina scented candles disrespect me. And everybody thinks I'm a cuck, and because you are a cuck and you're trying to you're living a life, at least in the PR sense, trying to rationalize that cuckoldry. Maybe it's not Jack Murphy level, but it's you're a high profile guy and other people are banging your wife and you're going on shows and you're apologizing for it. It's all apologetics. Oh, well, it's okay. We're all good now because it was all about love. And no, don't judge me. We make these bad decisions. It's living life in our journey of self-discovery and fuck off. Okay. No, that will weigh down on you. Imagine living 2 or 3, 4 years of that, having to deal with, your kids that way, and then actually having a career to the point where you can get to, do such a good job that you get to be best actor. Wow, that's great. So now you've gone from your lowest point to your highest point, but yet you're still low, even though you're winning this very, profound award, right? Your accolades. And now you've gone from like, you're still a cuck. You're still in the back of your head. You're a cuck. And here's this guy making fun of your wife, and you think you're a cuck, and you're not. And well, maybe you are, but you feel like you're not, or you feel like you shouldn't, because you're about to be awarded the best actor's award, because who else is it going to be? Let's be honest. Okay. Like, who else is on the list that should have got that award besides Will? No one. God damn it. I can't even believe I'm even I had to do like a little bit, even the minuscule amount of homework on this garbage to begin with. But imagine the highs and the lows, particularly with a guy who is still very invested in the blue pill, still very invested in this old order way of thinking, but yet trying to use new order way of thinking to justify the fact that his wife is banging August Alsina. And before that, it was Tupac. The ghost of Tupac is still cucking you, Will. She's an alpha widow twice over with August Alsina and Tupac. That is the double whammy, my friend. Yeah, that might drive you to get up on stage and smack the shit out of Chris Rock. That might have been enough to get you up there and to do that. It's more than a man can take. Yes. So that's my rationale, my main rationale. There's another, I got something else for you too, but that's my main rationale as to why would he do this? Why would he go up and do that? Oh, doesn't he realize? You can make the same case, by the way. So if I say it's staged, you go, well, why would he do that? It would ruin his career. Well, I can say the same thing, but why would he do that? Even if it's not staged, why would he take that risk and go up and do that? Well, the reason why that's more palatable to most people is, especially for women, is like, because he's defending his lady's honor, because Chris Rock is the dragon, and Will is St. George, and Jada is Milady. Ah, have at thee, thou vile caitiff! Pow! Dragon killed. What do you think, woman? I admire you. Yes, let's go home and have sex. Do you think that dialogue happened after that? Probably not. But it's the same narrative. Now, was it right or was it wrong? What would you do? Well, you would do what you would have to do. Okay. I've gotten in fights before at clubs. I have gotten in fights before because other guys have stupid misunderstandings. Let me tell you, spending 15, 18 years in the wine and spirits industry doing promos where people are sucking down shots every, left and right. I have been in fights and I have seen other people throw down for because they're lit. That's pretty much why. And you could tell when a drunk guy's fighting and when a guy who's actually, got his wits together is fighting too. Yeah. Alcohol, instant asshole, just add alcohol. Right? Trust me. I've been around it. All right. Oh, God. It's more than a man can take. This shit is more than a man can take. Will just needs a face tat and he'll be, yeah, well, maybe, right? Jason Momoa. If that had been, people said this too. If that had been The Rock or if that had been Jason Momoa who was up there saying that same thing, do you think that Will Smith would have gone up there and done that? That's another reason why I think it's fake, by the way. I'm sure there are plenty of other people who have had Jada's name in their mouths and you don't see him trying to go hunt them down. You don't see him trying to go and rough them up. Where was that interest, by the way, I should say? Where was that interest when August Alsina was nailing his wife? Where was that interest when, when anyone else was giving him shit about that? There's dozens and dozens, hundreds of people who are doing this same video right now as we speak. Where's that angst? Where's that hard, hard hitting alpha Will whose testicles finally dropped, right? If that had been Jason Momoa on there, yeah, you're goddamn right. That would never happen. What would you do what would you do? It reminds me of, hold on, I'll come back to that. That reminds me of, have you seen these pictures of Jason Momoa This is why I need a producer, by the way. Have you seen those pictures with Jason Momoa where he's like at Comic-Con and he's got his arm around some shit, like some attendee or something like that, and he's off like he's like stiff arming the boyfriend off to the side, and it's supposed to be fun. And Jason's a funny guy. I'm sure he was probably the one that invented the whole thing. It wasn't the photographer. He was just like goofing off. And the guy's over there like, yeah. And in some cases, it looks a little real. In some cases, like the guy's boyfriend or the woman's boyfriend was like, and you could tell it's kind of like, okay, whatever. First of all, that's some fucked up shit, ladies. And then second of all, the guys who actually don't get the joke or are too literalist, or maybe they're just a little bit on the spectrum, that's, they have a different opinion of Aquaman after that. But you see that and you get the joke, and it's like, he's Jason Momoa. Your grandma wanted to see Aquaman because Jason Momoa, right? But that's a different dynamic than keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. I want to focus on myself and work on my education, social life, and career. Parents are literally decaying, becoming senile, spelled wrong, naive, taken advantage of. Do I just allow this, or do I have obligate to care for them? Yes, you do. I'm going to tell you yes. Oddly enough, I'm going to say you do have an obligation to take care of them. And simply because the fact that you're even asking me this question means that you're questioning kin altruism. Now I'm not going to approach this from a moralistic perspective. I will, however, approach it from an ethical perspective. What's the difference? Well, you can add religion and God and magical thinking to morality, and it pretty much amounts to, well, is this fair? Is this not fair? And honestly, I think that depending on, what your situation is, I don't know, but take care of your parents. Honor thy father and thy mother, right? There you go. There's your moral side. There's your ethical side. It's just the best practice. Honestly, it's logistically, it's a good thing to do. Also, if you ever have kids, I don't know that you do or whatever, we all are going to have to deal with aging parents. Off topic, but actually I kind of wanted to stop on that. That's pretty good. I got to hit that again at some point. Why are you guys asking me like people will say, well, was it right for him to do so? You tell me, man. I just work here. I'm going to tell you why he felt that way, what prompted him to go up there and do that. Was it right or was it wrong? I don't know. How's it going to affect his career? I don't know. Was it best practices? I don't know. Well, you're not a real man unless you go and do these things. Well, would a real man go on the red table talk with his wife so that she can explain why she had an entanglement with a guy that you knew about and she was banging, and you're going to look like this simpish, weepy-eyed milquetoast beta male cuck simp? What else? Let's throw out every epithet we can find. Is that what a real man does, or is what he just did or is he lashing out? Is it a flash of alpha? I've talked about flashes of alpha before. Okay. So what happens with a beta male guy, a guy who is very blue pill, has really stuck in the old order way of things, really had moralistic guys in particular, but also guys who just sort of buy into this right and wrong kind of thing, blah, 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 right? That guy, like I said, blue pill alphas tend to be the worst white knights that you will ever meet. That's number one. The other side of this is that, like, when you buy into that for long enough and it becomes sort of your protocol for working, it becomes sort of like the right and the wrong becomes the judgment call, or the judgment side of the whole thing. So when I talk about, wait a minute, where was that? When I talk about, this is why it's very important, I should say, why we keep alpha and beta as abstractions, not as like qualifiers. Alpha is a mindset, not a demographic. Beta also is a mindset and not a demographic as well. So I can make a case that Elon Musk or that Jeff Bezos is very much beta, very much blue pill. They're still stuck in that way of thinking about things. And that colors the decisions that these guys make. So what happens is that blue pill beta-ness becomes your primary or predominant personality attributes, right? You're more agreeable. You're not like dark. If you want to say, well, dark triad versus like, whatever, good pro-social character traits, right? If you go and you say, these are bad and these are good, like dark triad, that's why we call it dark, right? I disagree, by the way. I don't think we should call them dark triad. I think that they are part of human personality, and they can be dark or they can be light according to how we use those things. Okay. Well, what psychopathy? Well, I can make a case for psychopathy being used creatively. I can make a case for I can definitely make a case for Machiavellianism being very profitable and being very pro survival adaptations for human beings. The dark triad traits are, well, I'll keep calling them that, but those traits, psychopathy, Machiavellianism, and narcissism, sometimes, what is it? I think was it Shakespeare, Henry V? Self-love is not so great a sin as self-neglect. What's narcissism and what's not? It's all dependent upon whatever your context happens to be. Okay. You can take a pathological personality like Anthony Johnson and you can turn your life into shit. Or you can take that pathological personality and you can be Steve Jobs and you can create this iMac and this stuff and an iPhone and everything. You can use it creatively and you can, as I said, the human condition is discontent. But how you address that discontent, how you use it creatively or how you use it destructively is just the same thing. The same energy that Steve Jobs had is still the same energy that like a psychopath has. Okay. What's your predominant character? And for most blue pill guys, like I would argue, Will Smith, if he's a blue pill beta to the point where he's willing to take it on the chin, he took it on the chin. You know who's been slapping Will Smith a lot longer than Will Smith has been slapping Chris Rock? Jada Pinkett Smith. Every time she goes on the red table and talks shit about him, every time she's in front of an audience and a camera, every time she's on The View, every time she talks to Gwyneth Paltrow, smack, smack, smack to Will Smith. Now, Will Smith can't smack Jada, but he sure as hell can smack Chris Rock when Jada gets pissed off and he knows he's going to be in for it tonight if he doesn't stand up and he doesn't do something about it. Sometimes guys, but like when you see a flash of alpha in a beta male guy, it's not because they suddenly sacked up. It's not because their testicles dropped all of a sudden. It's because the repercussions of smacking Chris Rock are preferable than dealing with the fallout from Jada Pinkett Smith if he didn't go up there and smack him. Now, this is if it's legit, okay? Let me restate that, okay? Just so you can get this in the simplistic as form as possible. The repercussions, there's going to be repercussions either way. Chris Rock makes fun of your wife, okay? G.I. Jane, right? Blah, blah, blah. He's going to be pissed off and he's going to be sort of like a petulant child, whatever. That's what I would expect from a blue pill beta guy. Should he have gone up there and done that? If he was more alpha and he went up there and he was like sort of just saying, don't talk shit about my family because if you do, I'm going to kick your fucking ass, right? Sometimes alpha can be expressed with silence. When you're getting to you become more alpha as a guy is when your silence inspires more fear than your actions. When daddy's not saying anything and people are like trembling in their boots because the godfather isn't saying anything, or because or somebody ghosted you, or they went no contact. Sometimes you better be shaking in your boots because they're not communicative, because you don't know what's going on, and they were your friend, and suddenly now they're silent again. That is when you have more to fear from that guy, from the guy who's more alpha, anyways. So I mean, that's neither here nor there. But the thing is like that flash of alpha, that like almost like that beta rage that comes out. The reason why it comes out is not because I'm going to argue this. The reason why he went up there and slapped Chris Rock is not because he was defending Jada's honor. It's not an honor thing. It's not a loyal thing. It's not a morality thing. It's a repercussions thing, because smacking, bitch slapping Chris Rock, who, by the way, is a low hanging fruit. Let's be honest. Okay. He's not going to, clearly he wasn't going to defend himself. He's leaning into it. I still say it's bullshit, but if it's not, smack that guy, there's going to be fallout. It's going to be in TMZ. Chris Rock could press charges. That's assault, right? Would Chris Rock be a bitch if he had pressed charges? Chris Rock is basically mea culpa, right? My fault, my bad. Sorry. Yeah, I shouldn't talk shit about your wife. Sorry about that. Like, by not pressing charges, this is why you won't hear, this is why I think it's fake, but this is also why you won't hear shit from Chris Rock, And if you do, it'll be probably months from now or the next time he's on an interview with whatever, nighttime talk show host he's with, right? And they'll cover it. It is what it is. I shouldn't have said that. My bad, blah, blah, blah. That he'll cop to it, but he'll want to like move on to the next topic kind of thing. But the reason why a beta simp chump guy who's had his name dragged and his family and his manhood, let's just say, dragged through the dirt by his own wife. The reason why, what inspires that guy to go up there and smack another guy is not because he's trying to defend Milady's honor. It's because he wants to avoid the shit that he knows is coming if he doesn't go up there and do that. That's why they do that. You want to know why beta males get killed? You want to know why beta dudes, like when they, I've seen these videos before. I think I did a reaction to one of these one time. There was a video, it was like a closed circuit a camera video in a club. And there was this couple and you saw the couple were fighting with one another. And there's this guy that's sitting down and I think it's like in the lobby or the foyer or something of this club. And the guy's sitting there and he's watching this happen where this fight's going on between the two of them. Now, I don't know what alcohol is involved or whatever. Guy gets up and he tries to break up the fight. Like he's, I don't want there any violence against this young lady right here. Dude's boyfriend caps him right there, drops, he's dead. It probably had no idea. He thought he was doing the right thing. Gets up. Well, I got to get up there and defend my lady's honor. And he's dead. And you know what? That chick and that guy, they both left together. And I following up on that, they're both still together. They were both still together until the guy went to prison for murder, let's just say. But that guy, I'm not talking about the couple. I'm talking about the guy that actually tried to go up there and be the white knight. That right there, that beta male influence, that beta male push to say, well, I got to do the right thing. That's what we got to do. Men have that innately because that's the protector dynamic. I covered this in book 4. And so is the protector dynamic existent in Will when he goes up there to smack Chris Rock? I would say yes, but what's prompting him to that violence isn't, I got to defend my wife. It's, I don't want to, the repercussions of smacking Chris Rock are less than what my perceived repercussions are of dealing with this BPD domineering bitch who doesn't want to have anything to do with me and is fucking other guys and is alpha widowed by Tupac and August Alsina. And if I don't go up there, I'm going to hear about it for forever. If I don't go up there, my name's not only going to get dragged through the mud even further, she's going to probably go on with Gwyneth Paltrow and say and talk shit about me because I didn't sack up and I didn't do this. So the repercussions to his career, or some people were saying that he was going to have his the Academy Award will be removed because he committed violence on the campus or the premises, right? That's not going to happen. But the thought of that repercussion or the possibility of that repercussion could be very real, at least in his head. There's repercussions for what he's going to do. Now, again, I think it's staged, but even if Chris Rock imagine Chris Rock had pressed charges. He's not going to, because a man doesn't press charges when he knows he's wrong. That's the narrative people want to hear. Well, Chris shouldn't have said that, man. You don't disrespect a man's wife. Well, you do when Jada Pinkett Smith is dragging your own name through the mud since 2020 on the Red Table Talk. And we're happily married. A marriage takes effort. Actually, we have an open marriage. That was why I did the last one was Gwyneth Paltrow, but she was also saying, well, we're in an open marriage now. Your wife in an open marriage who's banging other guys, another dude disrespects her, and you're still stuck in that old order, beta male moralistic thinking that you got to go and whack that guy. No, I don't think so. I think it's a weighing, and remember, this is going to happen like instantaneously. I would rather kick that guy's ass than have to face this bitch when I get home. That's the calculation, man. That's the math that Will Smith was using. It's not about his family. It's not about, I hated my dad. We all hate our dads. I hated my dad too for a long time. Not anymore. He's gone. My mom was a ditz. Okay. My mom was a lovable ditz, but she was a ditz. Okay. You grow past it and develop and become something more than you are. That's the challenge of life. Be something more, do something. Men must become, women just are. Become something. Will Smith has clearly become something. He didn't need to do that. He didn't have to go and do that. My question is this, like, if you have a good wife, like if my wife, I've been married for almost 26 years. In July, it will be 26 years. If I'm going to get into a fight with a guy, I'm going to get into a fight because I'm following my protector dynamic. You know, my eyes roll back in my head like a shark, right? You know, and you just go because you turn into this feral kind of thing in a survival life or death kind of thing. Like maybe the guy who was trying to break up the fight between the girlfriend and the boyfriend may probably thought something similar to that, but you know, you mix it in with morality and you got to do the right thing. It's a powerful thing. But is Jada Pinkett Smith worth that? Is she even, are they even married? I mean, like I know they are legally, but are they even married in sort of like the connective relationship romantic sense? Because it certainly doesn't look that way when she's sitting over there and he's sitting right, you know, across from her, strategically positioned to the stage. And she's like, you know, he goes from laughing. Here's how I know. Oh, actually, let's go back. Let's review the evidence, counselor. This is Will and I think that's his daughter, their response to the joke about the G.I. Jane thing. And then she's across there. How much you want to bet? Like a split second later, Will's like, oh shit, she's going to get pissed at that. Oh, that actually wasn't cool. Oh, she's, deal with her bullshit or kick his ass. Kick his ass, right? That's because one of those has more repercussions in the air. One of those is your priority and one of those is not. That also, by the way, is how I know that Will Smith, his mental point of origin is Jada Pinkett Smith. She is the first thing that pops into his head whenever he's faced with the decision. And the decision was to go kick his ass or do nothing, or maybe just sit there and say, fuck you, right? Whatever it is. His decision was based on her being the first thought that bounced into his head. How do I know that? This is how I know that. That's his instinct. That's a laugh at it. Ha ha ha. You know, everybody else is laughing except that bald bitch that's across the way from me right there. Oh, that's my wife. That's how I know. So let's let me. I gotta catch up. I get rolling, and you guys get rolling too. So. Yeah, I know. Okay, let's. Okay, here's your Lucas. Here's your attention. This is the attention you ordered, right? Right. Okay, that's the joke. Oh yeah, he'll slap Chris Rock, but he won't slap August Alsina. Ha 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 ha. There's the laugh you're looking for. Okay, newbie Cryptooby. Well done. As a red pill based god, I love this drama and find it amusing. Rollo, you're a king saving it. Look, if I got to do red meat videos, and occasionally I do, at least I can give you some vitamins into red meat, right? At least there's some nutritional value to my red meat. Because I guarantee you, now we still got a good 41, 55. We got a lot of people watching this right now. What I want you to do, I'm gonna get to option number 3 here in just a second, and I'm gonna show you just a touch of a video here in a second. But when we're all done class, when class is dismissed, and you're inevitably gonna go watch, go watch Lucario. I like Lucario well enough, but you're certainly gonna go watch Fresh and Fit. You're certainly going to go watch other content creators talk about exactly this all fucking day. Okay. Compare what they're talking about. Compare the level of depth that they go into to this show. Please just do me that favor. If I got to do a red meat video after 4 hours and 20 minutes yesterday, at least do me the solid and say, you know what? Rollo has a little bit different take. Jefferson Steel Flex. Really? Off topic, but why do people not just women, but men as well associate red pill with, and your book with, hating women? Because they have a vested interest in doing so. Here's why, Jefferson. Because if there is no boogeyman, no one gets paid. That's why. I'm the boogeyman. Yes. I'm the boogeyman. That's why. Why do they associate with hating women? because it goes against the narrative, because it pushes back against gynocentrism, because it tells uncomfortable truths. And the only reaction people have to having their ego investments challenged is to say, oh, it sounds like misogyny and hate. That Rollo guy must be unhinged. Do I sound unhinged? I'm definitely like high on life right now because I love it when these stories come around. I've been hitting on all cylinders lately because I'm just about done with the book. So if you notice a change in my mood, that's probably why. It certainly wasn't. I was tired as hell when I got back from Miami. So there's probably a qualitative difference between us. And no, I'm not high on crank. Trucker crank. I believe it was scripted to show a woman approved man being a man scenario. Well, that might be the case because remember what our good friend Matt Walsh and who else? Bill Maher. You know what? I want to know what Bill Maher has to say about this vibe. He didn't. Bill, come talk to me, man. Did he not sack up? Is he not a grown ass man? Or was it staged? In fact, just assuming it was staged suddenly makes me this ignorant fuck, right? Because he thinks it's staged. There's no way that's staged. You know why you think it's not staged is because you want NASCAR, because you want to. It's like having a stage. Like you can't really stage a NASCAR crash. I mean, maybe you could, but like most NASCAR crashes are not staged. But let's just say, for sake of argument, you could. You would never believe it because that's why you're at the NASCAR to begin with. You want to see it. You want to see the crash. You want to see the blood. Give me the blood. Bro, Barry called it a simp slap. Did he? Please read the super chats. I am reading the super chats. What do you want me to do? Trying, man. Trying my best. I'm not even supposed to do this show. I was actually going to do a pre-record for Wednesday. Now I got to do a pre-record for probably going to do a pre-record for Sunday because I'm going to be with Robert Kiyosaki on the weekend. My birthday is coming up on Saturday. What did you say? Who's giving me grief? Somebody's going to give me grief. Who's giving me grief? Who's giving me grief? Hold on. I want to put I desperately want to. Oh, see, I told you. I really want to put your thing. Tupac wouldn't accept Jada being his dom. Do you think okay? I don't know. I know I'm familiar with Tupac's music, but I don't know him and his personality because he's gone, right? But was he more of like a passive? Would he have been a passive partner if it had been like Jada and Tupac forever, right? Would Jada still run Tupac's show? I don't know about the person. I don't know if there's a personality conflict. Maybe it's just Will Smith. So she chose Will. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, so Tupac wouldn't knuckle under. He wouldn't give her hand. Will would. That's why she went with him. I think maybe it's because Tupac actually died. Maybe that had something to do with it. She probably thought she could have Tupac in her life, but I think she got screwed by fate and is stuck with the crybaby. You want to know what I think? I'm going to tell you what I think. I think that Jada Pinkett Smith was alpha widowed, literally, in the most literal sense, was alpha widowed by Tupac. Even after they were done and she got with Will and then he died later, there was no going back. There's no, I can't have him again. I saw that, by the way. Somebody's, so don't send it to me. I'm aware of this. There is some journal entry or some note or something that she wrote to Tupac. And I don't know if it's post-mortem, like after he died or not. But she was like jonesing and pining for Tupac. And she was saying, you give me orgasms just by thinking about you, like not even touching myself. Like just the thought of you gives me an orgasm. That is the difference between I want to have babies and I want to have Tupac's babies. I want to have babies and I want to have his babies. That's the Ryan Gosling gambit. Eva Mendes didn't want kids until she met Ryan Gosling and she wanted to have kids right after that, right? That's what I'm talking about. Own her soul, right? Anybody know what that means? Fresh does. He just doesn't articulate it very well. And I love Fresh. I love that guy. Vince says, watch the slap in slow motion and compare it to any real slap. I would need to find a real slap video to see what sort of the physical, wow, 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 wow. I would have to see what that looks like. Chris stuck his neck out and rolled with the slap. It was executed well because they are professional actors, but this is as real as WWE. Now, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm just going to give you a real quick here. You want a Rollo Tomassi tidbit? Here it is. I fence and I practice Krav Maga. I also I was a confirmed black belt in Taekwondo, but that doesn't count because that was kind of like sport stuff, right? But as far as like traditional martial arts, if you want to classify, I guess it is, fencing is a martial art and in a way it's a sport, right? But Krav Maga, like if you know, or not Krav Maga, excuse me, Kali. If you know anything about Kali, you know that it's a very practical, I got serious, right? Very practical, defanging the snake, right? It's very, very practical. And I'm not saying it's the best. I'm just saying it's just what I was drawn to. So there you go. But I also am very skilled or I'm very knowledgeable in stage fighting as well. And I also know how to throw a fake punch. As you know, I've done acting in the past. You know that I have done cameo appearances in Save a Ho, thanks to Kevin Savo. But I can tell when you're trying to like throw a realistic punch, if you're not within a distance to actually do that, it kind of looks fake. But it can look real if the camera's behind you, if there's a certain angle to where it's at. And that's why I showed you these other shots here. Like, where'd it go? Like this one right here. That looks like stage fighting 101. It's not even like, where'd it go? Oh, this is a good one here. Oh, sell it to me. Like the guy who gets hit, like they'll tell you, like in stage fighting, you have to sell the hit. It's not just the guy who's like throws the punch. God damn it. I wish I would have had Kevin Savo, because Kevin Savo does his own stunts and he does his own fighting scenes and everything like that. He knows about this. I don't know if he's certified, but I know he knows this stuff. The guy who gets hit has to sell it almost more than the guy who throws the punch. Got shot in the shoulder. Don't worry. Go on without me. I'll be fine. You have to sell the wound. You have to sell the hit. And I don't think Chris Rock definitely didn't sell that hit for a guy who really got, like, whether it was fake or it wasn't fake, he didn't sell that hit. It didn't look like that hurt at all. And maybe that's just because Will's just a weak piece of shit. It's a zoomed in pic of Chris Rock's cheek, and it looks like he had a pad on his face covered up in makeup. All right, maybe. You know what? Before I keep going, I'm going to add this to the stream. Bear with me real quick. I'm going to put it on this right. Till now, this is from, sorry, God, I look just the same. Let me back this up. This was from my video that I did back in, there it is. This, what I wanted to show, sorry, there's my thumbnail right there. My thumbnail foo. Friend. Okay, so I have to show you this because bear with me.
A lot of emotional immaturity, emotional insecurity, and I was really able to do some really deep healing. It was really a joy to just help heal somebody.
I'm sorry.
Because I wasn't sure I was ever going to speak to you again.
I know.
Yeah, like the fact that
you guys catch that? I wasn't sure I was ever going to speak to you again.
I'm speaking to you again is a miracle.
Does that sound like a guy who is dead set on? Sorry, I'm having a drink. Is that sound like a guy who's dead set on like defending Milady's honor? Because it doesn't sound like it to me.
I don't go through this no more.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you back first. And then
you're gonna get me back. I think you got me back. I think we're good on that, okay?
Okay.
I wish that wasn't the case. I do. I wish that wasn't the case.
I sure wish it could be all magic and miracles.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
But and I don't think it's about getting anybody back.
No, for me it is.
Okay. I'll give you that petty. That's what you want.
Wait a minute. For me, it is. There's my nervous aside. For me, it is. Let's yuck it up a little bit more, even though I'm dead ass serious. think I'm tossing around the idea of maybe doing a quick video on passive aggressiveness of women, but also passive aggressiveness, being a female communication style, and men who adopt passive aggressive behaviors, passive aggressive speech, passive aggressive, even when it comes, like when passive aggressiveness becomes kind of like second nature to a man, what do we call him? You're acting like a bitch. You're doing this. You're crying like a bitch. You're acting like a bitch. You're not saying what you mean to me when you're saying, not communicating like a man overtly, right? Tell me what you mean. Give me the information, yada, yada. No, you're beating around the bush because, and the reason why we say you're acting like a bitch is because that's what women do. They default to covert language. And when you as a man start using covert language, and in this case, passive aggressiveness, which we just saw a minute ago, and I hate to like sort of give you the summed up version of this, but what we just saw here is he's acting like a bitch. We call, oh, he's a cuck. Oh my God, he's okay with this. We look at that and we go, he's acting like a bitch. Well, why do we say that? Because he's communicating like a bitch would communicate.
But, you know, I will definitely say it's just part of it.
Yeah.
You know, if you expect to be
If that's not a reframe, I don't know what is.
with somebody for a lifetime.
25 years and counting.
We ride together.
We die together.
Bad marriage for life.
You guys ready to sign up for marriage? You guys ready to sign up for this? They seem like they really love each other. Oh, okay, that's good. I'll take this out now. Remove that. That was the intro. That was the beginning of my most recent one that I did. I think it was like 6 months, 8 months ago. And I did that actually, that was the lead in for the response that I did when she was talking to Gwyneth Paltrow about his, their open marriage now suddenly. So bad marriage for life, right? Does that sound like a bad marriage for life? Does that sound like, hey, I'm going to go kick Chris Rock's ass for that? And by the way, that was Red Table Talk from 2020. That was from 2020 because I did the original one in July or August of 2020. They have said that she has had alopecia and has been bald ass since like 2018. And that's why we should, like, alopecia nation, stand up, right? And that's why Chris Rock shouldn't have said shit about her, right? She's bald head because she's losing her hair. She didn't look like she looked like she had some hair in that video. What if she doesn't actually have alopecia? Now, I'm not saying she doesn't. Maybe she does. Maybe she doesn't. I don't see her prescriptions for any medication. I don't know. I don't know them personally. We can actually talk about what ifs on this show. What if she just wants to keep her hair like bald ass? Would anybody, like, there's fitness women who keep their heads bald, right? Why does a woman chop her hair off after marriage? Why does a woman get the Karen Bob after marriage? You tell me, man. I just work here. I know. I want to hear from the class. The class has to come to you. Somebody come to the front of the class and tell us why a woman bobs her hair. How will this event affect the left? Who flying fuck cares? Could this have been an attempt to publicize his white knight nature to get social support for his brand's image? His brand's image is just what I just showed you 2 seconds ago. He's a cuck, and he's an apologetic, accepting cuck. The fact that, like, the time to be slapping people was not Chris Rock on the stage of the Oscars. It was he needed to be slapping Jada Pinkett Smith back when she was banging August Alsina. Now, that's the last part of what I want to say. We're going to move on to part 3 here in just a second. But I mentioned this on Donovan Sharp's show, so I'm going to tell you this right now. We're 2 hours in, and I want to kill this pretty soon. But I'm going to tell you this right now. You know who the real victims are in all of this? You are. I am. I got to spend 2 hours talking about this. We are the downstream effect of Jada Pinkett Smith banging Tupac and banging August Alsina and going on the Red Table thing and dragging Will Smith's $350 million valuation. Will Smith, at least two-time best actor, Will Smith, dragging his name through the mud. You know who should keep his name out of her mouth? Is Jada Pinkett Smith. That's what should be happening. He should be saying, bitch, keep my name out of your mouth. That's what he should have been saying to her years ago in 2012. I don't know when that went down. He should have been saying that then. He should have been laying down the law. He should have been taking over that authority. But instead, he subscribes and believes in this egalitarian, equalist horseshit is what it is. And you know who's paying the price for it? We are. Everyone watching that stupid show, we are. Whether it was staged or it wasn't staged, you know who the queen of the hour is? Either way, Jada Pinkett Smith. That's who. So when I was talking yesterday, and I'm going to do the show about Bad Vegan, but when I was talking about Bad Vegan and I was talking about Tinder Swindler, that's what I'm talking about. When I watch those shows, especially like Bad Vegan, because there's only one girl, but like for Tinder Swindler, you got multiple women. You got a girl that's getting in a plane with a alleged millionaire, a private jet, to fly off to Bulgaria half an hour after swiping right on his profile. Where's her father? Where's her brother? What were we just saying about, what is it, Noble Savages, right? I was just saying that, you know, most violence in human history is as the result of either jealousy or it's kin altruism. It's father protecting daughter. And I know because I feel exactly the same way. Yeah. Yes, I do. And I don't have any problem admitting to that. Yes, I am very protective of my daughter. I'm very protective of my wife. I'm very protective of my mom. I'm very protective of the niece that lives in my house. And you know what? Her brother is also very protective of her too, as should be. As we evolve to be, there's a practical, logical, very functional reason for male jealousy and mate guarding. And it's not just mate guarding, it's daughter guarding, it's niece guarding, it's kin altruism is what it is. Okay? Where were the men who could have said, no, bitch, you're not getting on that flight. You are not getting on with this piece of shit. This doesn't smell right. You know what happened instead? Don't judge me. I'm going to get out. I'm here. And she's kissing on the guy in the plane as she's flying. Met him like half an hour ago, flying off to Bulgaria, where the hell it was. Bailey's, started with a B. With his baby mama and his personal guard and everything. And there's nobody that says, you know, this is a really bad idea. You probably shouldn't do this. Like, let us know, like check in with us when you get there, because you're probably dead if you don't. You know what would happen? You know what would be different? Is if she had an involved father and involved, like let's put it this way, not involved, a father, a male figure, a positively conventionally masculine figure in her life who takes authority and control over her decisions. Yes, men need to take over women's decisions because we need to save them from themselves. That's why. And you know what happens when we don't do that? We get Chris Rock slapped on the stage of the Oscars. That's what happens. When Will Smith doesn't get Jada Pinkett Smith in pocket, when he says, oh no, we want to be even Steven and we want to be egalitarian. And it's like, you know, we're both on our journeys of self-discovery and happiness, this, and fuck that. You know why fuck that? Because everyone downstream from that decision and that ego investment in that belief and that belief set is suffering the consequences because she's got her shit. She's sitting over there like, you better go kick his ass, right? And now we're going to hear about it. Now you're not going to hear the end. Well, I mean, you're probably going to hear the end of it by the end of this week, but I guarantee you the next time Will Smith is on a talk show talking about it, you know, his win of the Oscars, or Chris Rock, God forbid, gets interviewed and they say, why didn't you press charges? Blah, blah, blah. And he's got a cop to that. Like they're not going to take a hit publicity wise or money wise, but they're not going to get around that. They're not going to live this down. Somebody's going to say, hey, remember that time that you got bitch slapped? That was pretty funny. Yeah. Why? Because a beta male decided to have a flash of alpha, assuming it's legit, decided to have a flash of alpha because the repercussions of smacking Chris Rock were less than dealing with the repercussions if he didn't from Jada Pinkett Smith. And that's why we're dealing with this right now. That's why Bad Vegan, that chicken Bad Vegan, Sarma, that girl, she bilked her investors out of $6.1 million, 400,000 of which, by the way, was from her mom. I guess we're all good. Mom suffers the consequences because no dude stepped in and said, fuck this guy. No one stepped in and beat that living shit. And nobody slapped, what's his name, or Shane Fox or whatever his name, Anthony Strangest. That's what his name was, Anthony, right? Nobody stepped in and took control of that situation. And anybody who would, any guy, like she wasn't around like a lot of masculine men to begin with, but except for the homeless guy, right? But any guy that would have stepped in and said, no, this ain't going to happen. I'm going to kick his ass. I'm going to beat the living crap out of this guy. And you're going to go back to work and it's better. You're better off this way. Nobody stepped in to do that because to do so makes you a misogynist. To do so means you're judging me. Don't judge me. Well, if I don't judge you, I suffer the consequences for your actions. You want to know why holding women accountable on Fresh and Fit and Kevin Samuels and the Black Manosphere, really the whole manosphere right now, why is that so popular? Why are Chick Talk videos so popular right now? Because they hold women accountable and they dare to go against that judgmentalism, buffer, that the protection that they get from that. You need to step in and take control. Sorry, but that's just simply the way it is. Look where we are for allowing women to make decisions that affect mom, dad, family, everything else. We're dealing with that through Jada Pinkett Smith right now. How do we know that? Because I just showed you the Red Table video. He's ready to lie down for that shit. Oh, you got to be happy and she's got to be happy and you take care of your happiness and then you come together and you're happy together. Take that shit to the fucking view, man. That's just that. All that is like hopeful rationalizations. It's rationalizations against the fact that you don't feel comfortable stepping in and taking authority. That's why. And until men are willing to do that, we're going to have more and more of these documentaries. There's going to be the next Bad Vegan, or they make for some pretty good content on Netflix, but that's where this is going. Look where we are. Okay, ladies, you have all the power. You can vote. You can do this. You can do that. You're empowered. You go to college. You can be in the workforce. You can, freeze your eggs. You can do all. We're going to give you ultimate power. We're going to give you everything you ever will. Congratulations, ladies. We've done everything for you. What are you going to do with that? Well, we want 100% authority and 0% responsibility. But when the bill comes due, it's your fault, men. And you know what? You know when the bill came due? When Will Smith jumped up on stage and smacked Chris Rock, that's the bill coming due. That's what that was. And until you're willing to accept that, you're going to be dealing with the same bullshit I was talking about yesterday for 4 hours and 20 minutes. So that's where we're going. Understand? Got it. Okay. I'm going to move on here. Let's get to some of these other. God, you guys, thank you very much for showing up for this one. It was kind of like spontaneous on my part, but I know it didn't seem like it's spontaneous. Sancho Bohemian, Rollo saved me from being cucked. Hot damn, my guy. My ex thought she was going to cuck me. Psyched, whatever. Here you go.
Flawless victory.
That's for you, Sancho Bohemian. I got a new set of sounds. Let's see, hide that. And let's keep it going. What's this? Somebody tell me something. Somebody give me something. Somebody throw some shit at me. Somebody lie about me in the chat. Come on, somebody lie. I love it. Whoa. There you are. Newbie girl, we're just trying to keep you on your toes. We are all growing together. Thank you. It's more than a man can take. Tuition. Thank you for your tuition. Much appreciated. Much appreciated.
Tell that bitch to be cool. Say, bitch, be cool.
That's what Will should have said a long time ago. I'm going to try to put these on here real quick. I'm going to get to the very last. I got one last thing for you here. Okay. Rollo Pack had the ultimate charisma, masculine frame, was charming and aggressive and violent, complete alpha. Oh, but don't forget this, Nefarious. He also had creative intelligence. He also was a pretty decent musician, a pretty decent rapper, and a pretty decent, like, a guy who knew like how to be creative too. You want the full package? That's the full package. What? Look up slap competitions. Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah. I thought you were joking. That's actually true. Look up. They have slap competitions. It's kind of like arm wrestling, only it's like, and you have to like, I just got bitch slapped. No, you didn't. Because if you had got bitch slapped, you wouldn't be able to retain your composure to say, I just got bitch slapped. That's why I think it's fake, by the way. I think the script was to say, I just got bitch slapped by Will Smith because now he's a man. Don't think of him as a cuck anymore, people. I got bitch slapped. And this is the greatest night of TV on earth. Did I say it right? Like he's looking, did I say it right? Was that what I was supposed to say? Did I memorize that right? Dang, man, you guys are on fire, my friends, on fire.
Hey, y'all.
There we go. You know what? I'm just going to go to the end here. I'll just have to read these off as I go. Who did I start with? Let's see. Okay. I talked to Super Penguin. You're off topic, Super Penguin. His simp is strong. Yes, it was. I believe it was scripted to show a woman approved man being a man scenario. Yeah, I think it was as well, especially in King Richard is his first and only Oscar. Are you sure, Sam? I could have swore he won an Oscar for X or Ali, or maybe he was just nominated. Ali, I thought for sure he had an Oscar for Ali, but I guess maybe this is his first one. Maybe that's why. Well, now you're a best actor. Now you're in the elites. Now because Denzel Washington, I know, has an Oscar. I remember he got it for Glory. I believe it was for Glory. He might have two now, but he's in an elite club. If that was his first, then now that kind of like puts things in a different context, doesn't it? Tupac wouldn't accept Jada being his dom. Okay, I got to that. Who did you say? Oh, Jason Momoa. Oh, okay. So you want to? Okay, thank you for that. That's my producer Sam here. Vincent, I talked to you. WWE. It kind of was. Now that's that too. And what else do we have here? The rational male number. The reason he went up and smacked him was because it was a rating stunt. Yes, of course it was. The Tates would not have acted like. Well, do you think that I can't wait. By the way, have they done it yet? I have no doubt that Andrew Tate and Tristan. If you don't, I'll be very disappointed, sons, because you have to do it. I know you're going to do it. I have complete confidence that the Tates have probably already done this video. Okay, I got to you. Yes, you are definitely keeping me on my toes. Dr. Nefarious, I read yours. Oh, Tupac. Yeah, that's right. And Badass Rollo practicing Kali. Well, I'll tell you, the funny thing is I picked up Kali because it was a screama, right? Something I'm familiar with. I was already fencing. We start with the rattan stick, and then you move to the what's the other one? The name of it right now. The little knife. I can't remember the name of the little knife right now. And then there is the hook knife too. Okay, that's that. And this is here. Look up slap competitions. I'd rather not. Thanks for what you do. Thank you for having me. Thanks for that $20, Chrome. Ryan Stone gave me $5. The Ryan Stone or the fake Ryan Stone? Hey, if you were an Oscar nominee, which actor would you slap, and whose name would you tell to keep out of their mouths? Thanks a lot. Well, who would I slap? I don't know who I would slap. You know who I'd slap? It would be like a prison yard fight. Like I would slap Jason Momoa. I think I would go for the biggest dude, because if you're going to do that, remember, we were talking about repercussions. If you're going to go big, you go big, right? That's what you do. John, because they want to become the man in the relationship and unconsciously look less feminine. Okay. Karambit, that's what it is. Sorry. I know Karambit. I know the Eskrima stick, and I forget the other one. Anyways, those ones. But it's not just a weapons style. It's a Filipino art of martial art. It's very practical. It's very up close. It's very like defang the snake and you're good to go. And the reason why I got into it is because my best friend Ray is Filipino, and you know that history. So, let's see. John got to you. Let's see. Hit the like button, my boys. Rollo is on fire. I try to be. Hit the like button again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I can't believe that's his first Best Actor. Rollo, you think Will's flash of alpha got him some that night? No, I don't. I don't think it got him some that night. I don't, and I hate to be like the pessimistic about that because people go, oh, because I've said this in the past, women are attracted, they like violence, but they like violence. If he'd have knocked his ass out, would there been teeth on the floor? Maybe, but he slapped at him and he cried and he like acted like a bitch. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. All right. Yes, most definitely. Jada is a militant feminist. Any man would suffer the same. It is coercive control, and you see him hyper vigilant to his abuser. Yes, I would almost argue this is almost like borderline personality disorder, but it's something else too. His abuser, and like many victims, believes he loves his abuser. Look forward to the book. Yes, yeah, good call, my friend. Who gave you that? Good call, Greg. Thank you for that. Yes, I'm glad you're paying attention here. What'd you say? 100. Thank you. And what else is up here? Am I missing something? I could have swore I had some come by. Sorry. This is what I get for not having a producer. I don't think it got him I don't think it got him laid. No, I don't. Not that anyways. And I'll tell you because it's kind of disingenuous. I think women have a sense of like genuine violence. Like, oh, he kicked ass because he was ready to beat the fuck out of it. He would have killed this guy if I hadn't stepped in. Like, that's a different kind of violence than stop it. Did you notice his protecting woman speech right after protecting his woman? It's like the speech was purposely incorporating it. No, I haven't, but somebody give me the link to that. I would love to see that. I wish I would have saw that before I came on. Protecting women, really? How come you didn't protect her from August Alsina? How come you did? Like, where was that protection, right? Where was that impetus? Not staged. Rock dipped his head after the slap, expected another embarrassment after, was real, and was an actor slapping someone, not like act slap. I disagree. I highly disagree, and this is why I disagree. Where is it? Where'd that go? Hold on. I thought I had it up here. God, that was so funny. Well, that's one reason, but here it is. Okay, that's it. This is why I disagree with you. All right. I mean, there's too much going on here. I mean, this is like is this armchair quarterbacking? Yes, it is. Do we know? Were we there? Did we actually do it? No, then I guess you should shut up. No, I shouldn't shut up. It's in the best interest of people that this is actually fake, by the way. I reckon people who identify as polyamorous who are low value do it to feel special because at some point they realize that they aren't. Yeah. But so the speciality of it definitely plays a factor. But I'm going to let's add something to that. First of all, poly is a beta male mating strategy right now. And also research. Thank you, Claire Lehman and others. Rob Henderson, I believe, as well. And maybe I think Rolf said something like this. Is that the study research shows that the person who is in the relationship who will benefit the most from a poly, like open marriage, open relationship, is the one who promotes it the most, is the one who is most accepting of it. Surprise, surprise. I know it's not hard to figure that out. What you got here? Okay, so you got to me, I got to you. I think that's it. Okay, last but not least, I think that there's one. I'm going to kill this stream after this. I am not going that much longer. I'll take your supers. Thank you until I finish this. Okay, so here's the deal. I think there's a third option here. And I think this is a little bit more sneaky and it's probably less likely, I'll admit, but we have to, you know me, we got to explore all the potentialities here. There is the potential there that neither of these are true. It is staged, but they didn't know it was staged. The reason I say that is because they don't, like, what was it? Chris Rock would never write something as stupid and corny as, oh, G.I. Jane. He knows that. In fact, he tries to apologize for that in the video. It's a G.I. Jane joke. No one in the last, well, let's say 24 years, but like no one in certainly the last decade or two even recalls what the fuck that is. I'm actually surprised even Jada Pinkett Smith would take offense to that because she has some sort of knowledge. Like, how old was Jada Pinkett Smith when that movie came out? How popular is that? Is that like something, is that on the must watch list of movies that you have to see? You got to see Jane, man. Yeah, Demi Moore, right? She shaves her head. I don't think so. But what I do know is that if you are a savvy copywriter and you work for the Academy Awards and your bosses are looking at the Academy Awards stats like this, and they say, wow, our viewership is really in the shitter right here, and has been declining steadily for the last 6 or 7 years. We need to stimulate growth. How are we going to do that, writers? I got an idea. We already know that Will Smith is going to get Best Actor for the first time now, apparently. And now we need to stir up some controversy here. He's going to get the award. We need to write into the script something that will trigger him. And so we put this stupid, lame joke that no one, that Will Smith or Chris Rock would never even, it wouldn't even be an afterthought to put into the script. Let's put that in there and let's see if we can provoke something. Did that happen? I don't know, but that's definitely a possibility. So the possibility also exists that Chris Rock didn't know was going to happen, delivered the joke. Will Smith took the bait that wasn't actually delivered by Chris Rock. It was delivered by the Academy Award, like monologue writers. He took offense the way that those writers wanted him to take the offense. And he went up there and he bitch slapped Chris Rock. Now, could you argue that case logically? I think you can. Is it likely? Probably not. It's probably more likely that it was staged, or it's certainly more likely that it was organic and natural. And this is just, Will Smith lashing out. But what's going to happen is you're not going to stop talking about the Oscars. You're not going to stop talking about Jada Pinkett Smith. You're not going to stop talking about Chris Rock. You're not going to stop talking about me for doing all this crap too. So it's going to be this continuous thing because people they want to believe. They want to say, finally, he got up there, and it's like, you want to talk about dating yourself? There's a song by Kenny Rogers. It was very popular in, I think, the late 70s, early 80s. It was called Coward of the County. And it was the guy who finally found it within himself to actually stop being like the chump and the beta male, and found out, his wife or his girlfriend was going to get forcibly sexually assaulted. Right. And he's no longer the coward of the county because sometimes you got to fight to be a man, right? That's the archetype. That's what we're hoping will happen. We're hoping that Will, who's really a nice guy, you want him to succeed. You want to see him in a different light than than Jada has forcibly put him into. You want to see the coward of the county ball up his fist and take on the bully. That's what you want. That's the red meat. Are you not entertained? That's what you want. Bread and circuses. You want it to be true. That's why probably the poll that I put up here, I guarantee you people are going to say, no, man, it's for real. Yeah. Is it real because you thought about it, or is it real because you want it to be real? That's why people want that entertainment. They want indignation. They want that chemical rush. They want that adrenaline. It's not dopamine. It's adrenaline. They want that adrenaline hit. When you watch a fight or a car crash or somebody dying, that's adrenaline. That ain't dopamine, my friends. Adrenaline is a way different hit than dopamine. All right. I think we need to be open to the possibility that maybe this was sabotage. Let's just say it was sabotage on the part of the Academy Awards script writers trying to provoke. And maybe it was more successful than they had hoped it was going to be. And so the possibility exists that it wasn't staged, but it also kind of was staged because the dialogue that was written for Chris Rock provoked a response, an emotional response in Will Smith, who knew he was about to be honored for something that he'd never been honored for before and get into this elite class of actors, which would also explain why Denzel Washington was so accommodating to the guy, because Denzel Washington, a black man with a Best Actor's Oscar, and well-deserved, I might add as well. You could explain it that way. Again, is that conspiracy? Is that, oh, let's go put on the tinfoil hat? Yeah, it could be. But you know what? At least I said I covered all my bases, because I will always cover all my bases. So let's see. What are you doing here? Stage scam? You think so? Can you hear the slap sound? Yeah, you can, but is it the slap sound because the hand clips the lav mic? That's what I mean. Because a slap sounds like, right? You hit the lav mic, it's like those are two different. Me being a sound engineer, me knowing anything about acoustics, that sounds like a lav mic strike. Okay. Let me go. I'm going to get these last ones and we'll get out of here. Thank you guys for watching my impromptu show. Outside of gender relations, this looks like it is enabling violence for people that feel hurt your feelings. No, it doesn't. In fact, not enough people actually resort to violence for hurt feelings, honestly, especially in situations like this, because they fear judgmentalism. If it was fake, Will Smith would have jumped on stage without waiting to Jada's marching orders. Like, oh, okay. Also, slapping someone half your size proves nothing. That is true, but I still think it was fake. I'm going with option one until further notice. All right. I reserve option two, but I think it was fake. He braced himself for the hit. I think so too. It looks kind of like he did. He leaned into it. That's why I thought that's what you would do if you were going to go, okay, here it goes. Also, why is he not flinching? Why did he not flinch? Why? Like I said, if somebody's posted up on you, I don't care if it's your best friend. Let's try to find something. If I took this rock, right, and I threw this rock at you, what would your natural instinct be? You get the fuck out of the way. That's instinct. You would do that. You would flinch. He knew it was coming. That's why his hands were behind his back, so he could take the hit. And they didn't come out until after this. He's on his follow through. That's all. And you'll also notice there was nothing else. How come Chris Rock didn't go back on him? Why? How come Chris Rock? Like, if somebody comes and hits you, dude, there's reprisal. There's going to be reprisal. So, but there was nothing like that. Maybe it was, he was just the smart. He was just he was the bigger man. No, he wasn't. And here, let me tell you something. There is not going to be any apologies from me here. Okay. See, it really wasn't staged. You will never know. That's the thing. That's the beauty of this show. You'll never know. I can make a case. I just did. I made a case for staged, and I made a case for not staged, and I made a case for both. The fact that I can do that means there ain't going to be no fucking apologies, my friend. Guaranteed, because you will not know. And if the Academy Awards doesn't want you to know, you are sure shit not going to know. You're not going to get the truth out. Here's a better question. What's the motivation for them to tell the truth, whether it was or wasn't staged? Who? I think it was staged. Quite honestly, nobody will know exactly. Nobody's ever going to find out. And it's designed. But you know who's going to show up for next year's Oscars? You sons of bitches. You guys are going, I wonder who's going to get hit this year. All right, get my beer. Who's going to fight who? It's like WWE, right? I mean, it's ridiculous. They'll do anything to get you to watch those shows. Anyways. All right. I think I'm done. This was, I actually gave you more than I thought I was. I'm actually going to go on another show here in a second. People want my take on all this crap. Tom Torero is dead. So can you please cut the shit? Okay. He's a fake. Well, let me explain something to you. John from Monolith Dating never knew Tom Torero personally. I did. Troy did too. So it is what it is. Let him talk about whatever he wants to. But I don't think that Tom Torero deserves any kind of hate posthumously. So anybody else? And you can stop trying to stir up shit between me and John, because we're tight and I love John like a brother. What else did I catch? Everybody. I want to make sure that I got to everybody here. I think I did. All right. Will Smith just posted Instagram apology. Yes, staged. Really? Oh, give me that. Give me the link. Give me the link now before I get off of here. Give me the link. Link me the Sam. Give me that link if you can, please. Thank you. Somebody's got to give it to me. Somebody give me that Instagram thing. I'm not leaving the stream until somebody gives me that Instagram apology. Somebody's got to have it. Will Smith just posted an Instagram apology. Yes, staged. What? No. Okay, I'm going to go try to find it myself. Hang on. Give it to me. Somebody have this. Somebody's got to have this. Will Smith apology? Will Smith. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on. Let's see. What does Instagram have to say? Will Smith apology, 21 posts. Let's see here. Yeah, well, he apologized to them, but he didn't apologize to what else? Will Smith just posted an apology on Instagram. I'm not seeing it. Where is this? Will Smith. Okay, let's just do Will Smith. I'll look at his account. No, it's managed by somebody else, but this is the blue check account. Does he have something? Here. Oh, okay. Is this it? Violence in all forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are a part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical conditions was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. From G.I. Jane? I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and was wrong. I am embarrassed, and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There's that word, Patrick Bed David, want to be. I am embarrassed, and my actions were indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness. Who do you think wrote this for him? I would also like to apologize to the Academy, the producers of the show, all the attendees, and everyone watching around the world. I would like to apologize to the Williams family and my King Richard family. I deeply regret my behavior has stained what has been an otherwise gorgeous journey. Gorgeous. Do you think he uses that word? Gorgeous journey for all of us. I am a work in progress, or at least that's what Jada still tells me. Oh, my Lord in heaven. Oh, God, please just do yourself a favor. Don't go to Will Smith's Instagram. All right. I just read his apology. There you go. That's his apology. His female publicist. Yes, because he's a gorgeous man or gorgeous human. Who uses that vernacular? We need another 3 hours about this post. No, you don't. You don't really need that. Who else? Let's keep going. Did I miss somebody while I was reading that? I don't think I did. Let's see. Ooh. Wait a minute. Hold on. We need another 3 hours. You don't need 3 hours. Certainly not of this nonsense. Fishmans or EMGs? I got a better one for you, my friend, since you're asking. Bare knuckles. All right, guys. That's it for me. Thank you for watching. Do me the solid, though. If you lasted this long, it's 2 hours and 37 minutes. If you lasted this long, do me the solid and at least try to compare and contrast what I've gone into in this to whatever else anybody else is throwing at you right now. You have to look at this was staged. You have to look at this in terms of why are people covering this? Are they trying to cover this because they're trying to give you sort of this intelligible understanding of what was really going on there? Also, one last thing, do not forget this. This is the most important part of this entire show today. Okay. Look at that. Look at those numbers right there. What do you think they will do to save the Academy Awards? What extents do you think they will go to keep that going? Also, be sure to go check out Donovan Sharp's show. I just did that this morning. I was a pretty good recording. I just did I also did George Gammon's show. I'm about to go on the lawyer guy's show. I can't remember his name. I'm about to switch over to another show right now in about 15 minutes. So I got to get out of here, actually. So that's that. I think that's it. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys. I will be at Robert Kiyosaki's place on my birthday, April 2nd. Thank you for wishing with all the well wishes. And then I'm going to be doing Instagram live streams. I'll probably do Q&As from there. If I can, I will possibly be shooting. I'll probably be doing my Sunday show from the Rich Dad Studios if I can work it out. So I won't be with this background. It'll be me and Robert at his place on this channel. And I don't know what we're going to talk about. Well, I'm sure we'll have something real spicy to talk about. So that's coming up. Actually, some special stuff coming up on weekend. If you missed it, I also played a gig last weekend. I also played a gig on Saturday. It's still up on Instagram if you want to see my band and me rock out. So, all right, guys. See you later. Bye. Oh, wait. Hey, no. Wait. I'm not going to let you go without this because you guys love this a lot. So let's just do where to go.
Ain't nobody got time for that.